Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another fantastic night of SciFi Vision Presents Fandom Access. Hey, this is weird. I gotta
Why?
fix
What's
this.
weird? Oh, now I'm
There
on
we
the other
go.
side.
We're always. This is how it always starts, and I was like, "Wait, why am I on that side?" It screwed me up.
Wrong side. Makes you dizzy. You're all off, like out of kilter.
All kilter, yeah.
Yeah.
So what we got tonight? We got Talamasca's third episode, Lazarus 3 and 4, Diplomat 5 and 6,
Yep.
and you guys got episode 5 of Last Frontier. This is really torture having to stop with Diplomat.
I, you know, I can't believe that we both have the self-restraint to like really stop and not watch the next two episodes.
It's so good.
It's so good, and yet like nothing really like two episodes where like nothing happens, but what happens really happens. Like these are two
All right.
episodes of people talking.
Speaking of the Diplomat, let's get into it because Jamie said go ahead.
Okay, I don't have the key art here. I should ask Jimmy to download it for our next show. But so how'd you like these two episodes?
I'm not sure this is the show I should be laughing at this much.
Really?
So many funny things. I mean, the episode starts off. I mean, the way the episode starts, 5 months later from the last time from the decision that he's going to be VP. So it's 5 months into his term, and she looks to be doing very well with everything in London. Got herself a new boyfriend.
Yep.
The whole Dennison thing clearly did not work out after their last encounter.
I kind of like that they. Oh, what am I doing here? I kind of like that they skipped over that and just sort of were like, "Oh, it didn't work. They're moving on."
Yeah.
We didn't have like a storyline of like their romance. I kind of like that they just moved on to like,
Yeah.
Kate's getting on with it.
Yeah, but she's got this whole party is this huge big deal. It's her moment to shine. So how can we screw it up? Oh, I know. Let's have Hal show up, and then everybody forgets about her and just talks about the VP the whole time.
Yep. So annoying, right? Like he really and it looks as though Stuart has dreamed it up as a surprise for their wedding anniversary.
Yeah, Stuart's an idiot.
Well, I mean, nobody read him in that that the marriage was over, right? Like he's buying the ruse along with the public, right?
Yeah, but but even still, Stuart's an idiot when it comes to this shit. I mean, he's got to know that she's going to hate this. She's not the type of person that likes surprises. And
that's true. She needs to be surprised.
They've known each other long enough. He should know this is a bad idea. And it's funny because you can tell Endra knows it's a bad idea, but she's like, "You do you, man. I did my part. The rest is up to you."
Yeah, she's like, "I'm taking no responsibility for this," but like old Hal shows up and we get this dynamic where Kate is totally like down, like she's happy and got everything under control. And then Hal is just a giant ass the entire. He's really not happy with the breakup of their marriage, right?
No. But I gotta say, it's funny the interaction he has with the boyfriend, especially when he's talking about bird. He's like, "So they talk about the birds and everything," and the guy clearly has no idea what the fuck Hal's talking about. Come to find out, he's a spook.
Oh yeah, Hal's like all like. I mean, the cover story is that this guy is from a birdwatching society and it's some kind of birdwatching event or something, but it turns out he's an intelligence operative with like really good information, right? Yeah. And Hal is like belittling him, and then like there's the gut punch that he's actually like,
a spy.
A spy, and like Kate, like good enough for Kate in that he's not just a boy toy. He's like maybe intellectually and professionally like, an equal. And so, I mean, that's just another thing that like really irritates Hal. But he chose it, right? Like I feel like Hal was being a jerk. I know his feelings are hurt. He loves his wife, but he chose his ambition over his marriage.
Well, I mean, yeah, but he agreed to the whole marriage being over thing. I mean, she could have, I mean, if he wasn't VP, they would be divorced.
Oh yeah. Well, you think they'd be divorced if he hadn't? I mean,
Absolutely.
he didn't really steal the VP job from Kate, but he kind of stole the. I mean, it was never
No,
offered.
I can't blame that on him. That was all Grace. But if he wasn't the VP, they would not be together.
You think she wouldn't have stayed with him? Like, if he turned down VP and he agreed to just be the ambassador's husband and let Kate have her job, do you think they'd be divorced or they'd still be together?
Absolutely divorced.
Yeah.
She doesn't need a husband to be the diplomat.
No, but they're super, like, in the previous episode, she was like, you can't sleep in the bed with me because I will attack you because that's not for you, right?
Yeah.
All that.
They have a very interesting relationship. Oh my God! Speaking of funny lines, so the boyfriend, when he's like, "I can handle this for a couple days," he'll be gone in a few days, and then you'll have no clothes.
Yeah. I'll be ripping your clothes off or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy is he's kind of better adjusted than Hal, right? He's like, whatever. I can. He was all read in. He knew. He knew what the deal was, and he knew he just had to wait it out and whatever, right? So I love that seems to be like the really like it like really starts off the show with a bang, but then like we quickly realize that that's not really what the episode is, right?
Yeah, no. I do like when they're having the conversation afterwards, and he goes, "I thought it was going to be Dennison." She's like, "So did I." Didn't work out. He has a new girlfriend. I've met her. She's really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but then after the conversation, Kate has this moment that we really don't see with her. She when she breaks down in the library.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is really hard on her, right? Like she I mean, I think she loves Hal. He's just impossible to live with, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're both kind of impossible to live with, but yeah. So, and then the whole episode goes like in a total left turn, right? Like with poor Idra, who, she's been put in this, like last episode, she was put in charge of this like intelligence program where people who have intelligence and want to like defect to the United States or need protection or whatever, like are supposed to come to her, and she's supposed to like vet their stories or whatever. And it's a total joke. It's all nut jobs. She can't get any work done, and then until boom, right? Is it a I forget who the guy is. I can't remember the guy's name, but it's like a Russian guy who knows about Lenkov, right? And he knows that an American. He doesn't know that it was Grace, right? Does he know that it was Grace, or does he just know that it was an American who gave the order? I forget exactly.
He doesn't know anything.
No, the guy totally knows. The guy, like, it's this
Oh, you're talking about. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. Yeah, no, he just knows it's an American. He doesn't know specifically.
Yeah. Like everybody who comes here is a total nut job who's like, I know about aliens. I know about Epstein, all this stuff, right? And then it turns out this one guy actually knows the Lenkov business. He knows that an American gave the order, or that an American like put the whole thing in motion, right? And all hell breaks loose for like the whole rest of this episode and the whole of episode 6. It's just like total chaos with this Lenkov business is going to come out.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that when Kate, like, I felt so bad for her because Kate basically makes her feel like, she's like, just run with this. Like look into this a little deeper. This seems might be credible. Just look into it. And Idra's like, okay, like she totally felt like she was getting the brush off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
luckily that feeling didn't last for too long when when they read her in.
And Kate was kind of rude to her and kind of talked down to her a little bit, right? Like she was a little bit like oh no, just go check it out. When it involves an American, we check it out. And I felt like Idris had a for the CIA, like she knows this, right? But Kate had to remind her, I guess, of what they all know.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's just I think part of the reason Kate reacted that way was because she got caught off guard, and like she keeps saying, 4 people know about this.
Yeah. Yeah. I think through the rest of the episode, like Kate, so the result is that everybody flies off to everybody's like, we have to fly to the White House, right? They're like, we got to tell Grace, not to the White House. They end up going to the president's beach house or whatever, right? But they're like, we all have to fly off, and we need to get there. They hop in this plane. Here's a picture of them in the plane. And they hop in this plane, and they're going to fly to Amagansett, which is in Rhode Island, to confer with Grace. I think they call her. They get a secure line, and they tell her, right?
Yeah.
They get a secure line, they tell her, so everybody flies off. And I think that's where the 5th episode ends, right?
I honestly don't remember where one ended and the other started.
I think.
Well, there's that. Well, that very uncomfortable. You know what I kept waiting for? So when they were the interview, and he has the hot mic, and then when she finally gets him to go into the room, and talk about it, and I kept thinking, oh my God, please tell me his mic is off. I'm like, that's all they need, is to have a hot mic for this conversation.
Oh yeah.
But luckily.
Oh yeah. One thing I loved about this whole episode, I really love all the Kate and Hal scenes, and it is kind of surprising that, they're so dysfunctional, right? They're so every scene of them alone together is just, it's so bad between them. Hal in particular he's being a little bit of a sulky baby, right?
Yeah.
And he's saying all these things, these veiled insults. Someone's going to have to pick up on this, right? How is it that people don't know that these two are
in front of everybody there? They play the part.
Yeah. And I love the parts of this that were, and in the next episode also, where Hal also is being he's mad at Kate, and he's hurt that she's got a new boyfriend or whatever. And his reaction is to try to exclude her from all the conversations, where when he first took the job, he's like, Kate, you will be in the room. I promise you, you'll be my top advisor. You'll be a part of everything. And now he's pissed at her, and he's constantly trying to send her out of the room. And she's constantly having to try to bang down that door and back. She's texting him. She's texting everyone. She's using code words. She's doing everything she can to try to, he knows the one thing she wanted, now he's going to withhold from her, right? Or the thing she wants the most, which is to be in the room. He's going to withhold that because he's pissed that she's moving on. And he really can't move on because he can't sneak around the way she can, right? I don't think he wants to move on. He doesn't want to move on the way she does. So I think that's how the first episode ended, with those guys flying off to Amagansett, right? And they gotta go off over there and talk to Grace, and the whole next episode pretty much takes place in the president's vacation home in Rhode Island. Which I think I have a picture. Where are you, Grace Penn? I have a nice picture of you. Well, we'll go with this picture of her. They're all gonna try to discuss this and figure it out. And I just love this whole episode of them all going around there is no good solution. There is no good idea, right?
Right. I'll tell you, some of the highlights of the episode are Todd.
There he is. There's Todd. He was really good. Actually, Jamie told me she just spoke to him the other day. The actor's name is John Slattery. John, what's his name?
It'll come to me.
It'll come to me in a second. Jamie spoke to him about a different show just the other day, and when she comes on, she'll probably tell us whatever show it is that she's going to be promoting with him. I mean, who doesn't like Allison Janney? And I like her in this role.
Yeah.
And I had a friend who warned me that episode 6 was her like least favorite episode of the season. And I think this is my favorite episode. Well, I've only seen 6. I haven't seen all 8. My friend has seen 8, but this might be my favorite episode so far. And partly because of Todd.
Yeah. Todd is Bradley Whitfield. Whitford. I knew it was going to be eventually.
John Slatter's a totally different guy who was on Mad Men.
Yeah.
Also has white hair, which is all they have in common. I love Todd because Todd was hilarious in this episode, but you can see that Todd also is very unhappy and very resentful, right?
Yes, he is. He looks very happy in that scene, but
because he's got a nice martini. But I mean, I feel sorry for Todd.
Oh God, yes. Todd is just beside himself.
Yeah, Todd is really. I mean, he gave up his career. He ends up saying at some point in this episode, I think he says he gave up his life, right? His whole professional life, because Grace Penn was the vice president. He's Kate, kind of, except he's not Kate. He did what was expected, that he would set his career and his life aside to support his spouse and vice president. And it's the thing that Kate couldn't do. Do you think he's like a little jealous of Kate? I mean, he never acts like he's jealous of Kate, but there has to be a part of him that's like.
I think he's just. It feels like he just doesn't know what to do with himself, because there's that scene. I think he actually gets it in a different way than Kate, because they have that scene in the kitchen and he's just like, she's like, I'm not here as the second lady, I'm here as the ambassador. He's like, and yet you're standing here talking to me.
Yeah.
And then the guy comes in to get her and he's like, now they want you.
Yeah.
Like basically he's very forlorn, because he's, like he said, 5 feet away is the fate of the world and he can't be part of it.
Yeah. I'm having a little problem with StreamYard here that I can't scroll down to see all the photos that are down there. But anyway, he's like, I'm 5 feet away. He's got it all down. Like he knows, he can just sense, like, he's like, no, they don't want you. Yes, they want you. He knows the drill. He's really, I loved his whole grapefruit juice rant in this episode.
Oh my God, that was funny.
When he talks about just the ridiculousness of their breakfast and this grapefruit juice, I love that. We loved the oyster scene, right? I mean, the oyster scene was.
Oh my God, the oyster scene was great. She's like, give me the knife. I don't have the knife. She's like, turn around. He's like, oh.
And then we've never seen Grace be like a person. Like we've only seen Grace be like the dragon lady vice president and now the president, and to see her just be normal with her husband. And then they have like a much more, even though Todd's resentful and unhappy, like he's much more united to Grace, right, than Kate and Hal are. Like I don't think he would ever, he's not so unhappy that he'd leave Grace. And he he has this outburst where he's like, you're gonna get impeached, like this is like what he really doesn't want her to, like he's thinking what's best for Grace, whereas the three of them are thinking about what's best for the nation and for the presidency, and he's thinking about what's best for Grace. I think he's a great addition as a supporting character this season. So how did you which picture? So how did you like all of this? Like, there's a lot of talking among these four, trying to like decide what to do, and Hal trying to box Kate out.
Well, what I found most interesting about that is when Grace is like, would you shut the hell up? I asked her a question, not you. Yeah. And he still found a way to get Kate out of the fucking room. Like, and it's like at one point, I forget which conversation it was, but he says to her, she goes, but she kicked you out. And she's just like, yeah, well.
Do you think he like? Is it because he's just mad at Kate and wants to lock her out, or he doesn't want Kate to show him up? Like Kate's kind of smarter than he is in certain ways, right?
Honestly, while romantically their relationship is done, politically they are very well aligned.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they complement each other very well, and their back and forth usually come up with a solution.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I mean, together they're like, I mean, the way they bounce ideas off each other, and they have this kind of couple shorthand. They're like, well, I mean, this is not I'm making this up. They didn't really say this, but what about Budapest? Remember that? Or remember what we did in Pakistan? And they've got this whole like lived history together that really makes them powerful if they could be aligned, but they can't get out of their own way sometimes. Although actually, I think they're good at putting aside they're usually good at putting aside their marriage when they have to work together. But I don't know if Hal is reaching the end of his ability to do that, right?
Hal he was a huge jerk in these 2 episodes, like more so than usual.
Yeah.
I actually, stuck up for him a little bit in what was it, episodes 2 and 3. Or 1 and 2. I mean, 1 and 2, and maybe it was whatever episodes it fucking was. But he's definitely gotten worse. He's definitely intentionally trying to box her out. At least in front of everybody. When they're alone, he actually listens to her.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely trying to box her out.
Yeah. I love this picture because this is basically what these 2 episodes
he's pouting.
Are. He's pouting. She's like, how can I maneuver this for the best possible outcome?
And you know what the worst part is like, you'd think Billy would be a little more agreeable to listen to Kate, since Billy wanted Kate to be the VP the whole, not Hal. So you would think that she would actually, try and listen to her a little more, but the whole, lots of fighting in this episode.
Yeah. And it's all, they have invited Trowbridge to come, right? And they're like, Trowbridge and what's his name? Dennison are coming. Because they're like, we have to tell Trowbridge before it comes out, and let's get him on our side and get a story together that he'll believe. And they've got all this going on, and like Kate keeps telling them this is a bad idea, right? And she's right. Like, we know, the audience, we know this is a bad idea. We know who Trowbridge.
Oh my god, telling Trowbridge is just like, you could tell Dennison, but telling Trowbridge, oh my god, I knew this was not going to end well. I did not expect what happened.
No.
But thank God Kate came up with the idea to blame
the dead president, Rayburn.
I couldn't think of the president's name. All I could think was Michael McKean.
Yeah. I love the part where Kate comes up with this great idea, but she has to literally jump into the pool with
oh my god
with what's Todd. His name, with Todd, to make it happen. Her husband Hal will not speak to her. He's just being such, she doesn't agree.
Oh, you know what actually is very important. Before we get to this, that scene when Grace is like, Kate is like, he's not telling you everything, and Grace is like, so you tell me, what is Hal not telling us? And she's like, he's all for this because if Trowbridge keeps your secret, great. If he doesn't keep your secret, Hal's next in line to be president.
Yeah.
And the whole room is like, oh fuck.
Right, and he's never said it. He's never said it out loud. I kind of wasn't really expecting it.
I didn't think about it until Kate said it.
I didn't. Yeah, exactly. I think about it until Kate said it, and then Kate. I mean, she's right. It's a win-win for Hal, right? And I don't know if Hal. I was going to say, I don't know if Hal even has thought about it, but Hal has thought about it.
Oh, he absolutely has.
Yeah.
Because as soon as she said it, the look on his face spoke volumes.
Yeah.
And then you know, and then they try to out her, and then we get to the scene with Trowbridge, and I mean, have they learned nothing with this guy? Like, he never reacts the way you expect him to. I mean, when they outed Moylan to him, he tried to kill her.
Yeah, right. He literally tried to like choke
he was
her.
Choking her. They're like, well, Trowbridge wasn't in on it. He tried to kill her.
Yeah. That was amazing. I don't have a picture like from that scene actually. So I don't know if Jamie's listening, but last night on our other show, Jamie and I were like going back and forth on the phrase throwing someone under the bus and whether someone had been thrown under the bus. And I think Kate threw Hal under the bus maybe in this scene.
Yeah.
So she totally outed him.
And then threw, and then backed over him and then drove forward again and backed over him again.
But she was right. And actually, I don't know how, when you think about it, if I'm how could the president ever really trust their vice president on a thing like this? If they give you bad advice, like you have to really trust your vice president, right? And I guess there are many presidents who really trust their vice presidents, but Grace should know enough to never really trust Hal. Like, Hal would not do something that would really endanger the United States, probably. But he will always do the thing that is good for himself. Right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, I don't think Hal would be like, you know, if he thought it was really bad for the country, I don't know. I mean, it would be really bad for the country for Kate to be impeached after only 5 months in office.
And you know, so and Kate has that conversation with Dennison after they tell them, and he's like, this is not, he's like, Trowbridge is going to want his pound of flesh times 10. And she's like, it doesn't work that way. Like, you know. And, he's like, Dennison's he's like, I don't think, he's like, it's Trowbridge though, you know?
Yeah. He's like, you don't get it. You don't make a deal with him and he agrees to it. He's going to hold this over you forever.
Yeah.
Right.
And then does the exact opposite. Doesn't wait for forever. Announces that the ex-president did it.
Oh yeah, and I'm having a problem with my photographs. I can't scroll all the way down to the bottom. There's a picture of them standing together, of Grace and Trowbridge together making the announcement, and she's looking. You see it in the last row there, and the media assets. She's looking at him like, what? I don't want to refresh the page because I'll lose my connection. And for some reason, I can't like see all my pictures. But whatever. Yeah. So that blew me away, right? Like, I didn't really expect that to happen. Did you?
No, not at all.
Yeah. He just like, I mean, it blew me away. And then it's not surprising at all, right? It's Trowbridge being Trowbridge. He's like a giant baby, right? And he's kind of a good politician in a lot of ways, but then he's also like
he's a wild card. He's a loose cannon and a wild card.
And he's very needy, like another politician we know. He right? Like, he needs the limelight so much. Remember how he was positioning himself with Kate in the first couple episodes? Yeah. And he's treating Kate like shit. Like, he's treating her like some little wifey wife of Hal. Yeah. And he just wants to be seen with Hal all the time. He's like grubbing for the cameras. But then he also has this like deep mommy issue with Margaret
Moylan.
What's her name? Rollin?
Moylan.
Like she was his political mentor for so many years, but there's a lot more going on there, right? And now he's publicly humiliated. He's got to stand up there with Grace. Thank you for putting that picture up, and be like, really like humiliated. Like, they're trying to give him as much face as they can, but it's humiliating that this person that was his mentor duped the world. And then he just like, you know, like, he blows it up so much bigger than everyone was planning. He basically says Rayburn masterminded it, right?
Yeah. And now here's my question. Do you think Dennison knew he was going to do that? I couldn't tell. The look, him and Kate share a look after he announces that. And I can't tell if the look on Dennison's face was that he knew, or it was, I told you couldn't trust the guy.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to decide if Dennison was caught off guard as much as everybody else.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's telling a lie. Like, Rayburn didn't authorize. I mean, okay. They never told him that Rayburn authorized the attacks. They told him that Rayburn gave the idea to Royland, and Royland authorized the attacks, right?
Right.
And I'm not really sure what. So I don't know if Dennison. I think Dennison might be surprised that Trowbridge couldn't even keep it together for 5 minutes. Right?
Yeah, I bet they're wishing they pushed Endra to do what they had planned so that Dennison would be the new PM.
Yeah, the new PM. I don't think Dennison expected it, but I think Dennison is also not surprised that it happened.
Right. Well, that's kind of what I took from the look that him and Kate shared. I feel like he had that look was, I told you so.
Yeah. Like, I knew this would happen. Maybe not today, but I knew this would happen eventually. Yeah. And so why do you think he totally protected Royland and blames it all on Rayburn?
I don't even know. I can't even begin to understand why he would totally undermine everything in that moment.
Because he was had this great trade deal with the United States, and he was gonna have leverage over Grace and like demand a new relationship, right? And then he just blows it.
Yeah, this completely changes the entire dynamic of everything.
Yeah, like he blows up a 200-year relationship with our two countries. Although I did love Dennison's speech where he's like, for 200 years, we've had to be like little brother to your country, kind of, right? He's like, you're the big power. And it is kind of humiliating to have been the former world power, and now your colony is the world power, and like we're the second, not as, I mean, Dennison's on it, but I don't know. I think maybe, and we should wrap this up in a couple of minutes, but I think maybe Trowbridge wants to protect himself from being associated with Royland. Like Royland is his, was his mentor, and she kind of helped make him, right, and guided him. And I guess if it came out that she was a part of this, people would be like, well, Trowbridge, you got to go. Like, she taught you everything you know. You're so tight with her. How can he? Maybe that's why.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I don't want to get into Trowbridge.
Or could he really, despite her giant betrayal, still like have his mommy issues that he needs to protect her? I don't know.
I'm not. Let's put it this way. First thing I'm doing tomorrow morning is watching the next episode because I don't know.
I thought these were 2 great episodes, and I can't even understand why a friend of mine would say she didn't like this episode. She wasn't sure about this episode. I haven't had a chance to talk to her about it or download why she wouldn't like this episode, but this changes. This episode is great.
There was so much drama, and like I said, I was laughing so much in this episode. And like I said, it was mostly the Todd stuff. Some of the stuff Hal did made me laugh, but Todd just had me on the floor the whole episode.
Yeah. I can't wait to see in the next episode if they're going to blame Kate or be grateful to Kate. Like, Kate came up with this idea to blame Rayburn.
Well, for nothing. I mean, Kate literally just saved Grace's ass, because if Kate had come out and told Trowbridge that he would have been standing up there saying, this woman right here, she blew up my ship.
Yeah. Yeah. So Kate kind of saved their bacon. And Kate did tell them, you can't trust this guy. Do not read this guy in. This is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything Kate said came to pass.
Yeah. I can't even, so there's going to be one more. I can't even imagine what's going to happen in the next 2 episodes. And I'm already thinking ahead to the next season. Like as soon as
I know.
I want to say one last thing maybe about that, or you can say a couple last things. In the episode when Kate makes the point that, gee, Grace, if you get impeached, Hal becomes the president. So, take what he says with a grain of salt. And I was like, oh my God, is that where this show is going? Like, is Hal going to be the president at some point? Is Kate going to become the? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where this could possibly be going for the next 2 episodes. I have no idea where this could go. What happened in episode 6 could be the season cliffhanger, right? Like, you could have the two of them.
There's 2 more.
That could have been the season cliffhanger right there.
Yeah.
2 more. Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's get
Jamie, get your butt in here.
Come on in, Jamie. Jamie.
I wasn't on stage. Sorry, I'm talking and I wasn't on stage. That's what I did. You gotta hide your hair. I gotta put them on.
Oh,
I know.
Big AJ and Tiny Karen.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I washed my hair in honor of the show tonight. That's why it's wet.
Hold on. I'm fixing it. Sorry, it's been a lot. All right, let's shrink AJ.
I'm the center.
AJ,
I'm the center. I'm the center square.
It's the AJ show.
It won't be for long.
So,
right, what are we talking about next?
Well, let's take a minute to say, everybody who's out there, don't forget to like and subscribe this show. Okay.
Thank you much. Yes, please like the video, hype it if you can. Subscribe to SciFi Vision. I gotta turn my picture off. There we go. I'll warn you guys in case I don't talk a whole lot. I don't know why, but my asthma is like really bad right now, and I'm sitting here and I feel like I'm going. So if I don't talk a whole lot, that's why. But
all right.
We'll see how it goes. But yeah, welcome everybody. Sorry that I was not. I mean, obviously I don't watch The Diplomat, but I listened to you guys. I was here the whole time. I didn't look that close at the pictures. I looked quick. It looked like John.
Those are all great. They were great pictures. They were
no, but I mean, I thought it was John Slattery. But to be fair, I didn't really look that well. I saw
the guy with white hair.
I talked to John Slattery, not that guy.
No, it's funny when you said John Slattery, I'm like, that's not John Slattery. I was like, the name will come to me in a minute, but
yeah. To be fair, you guys out there in Streamland, on our platform here, the pictures are like 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch square, and you can't really see who the people are in our little pictures.
Yeah, it's hard when they're thumbnails, but yeah, there's a film coming out in Nuremberg that I talked to him in a couple.
Oh, I saw that advertised today. That's about the Nuremberg trials. I guess
it's good. It's. I mean, some of it's hard to watch just because of the subject matter, but I mean, it was really good. I liked it.
But well, that's an interesting. I haven't heard much about it, but I mean, that film. There's a famous film called. Is it called 3 Days at Nuremberg? Judgment at Nuremberg. It's like one of the greatest Academy Award-winning films of all time, right? So I got to even credit to like people who want to revisit. Like, I'm not saying it's a remake. I don't know anything about it, but that subject matter already like was one of the greatest films ever made. So it's awesome that they're doing it for new audiences.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen the original, so I can't answer that. But yeah, it's obviously about Nuremberg. So, but yeah, so that'll be coming out soon. But yes, John Slattery, not the guy from Diplomat, apparently.
What? All right, what are we talking about here?
All right. Well, you want to do
Lazarus, Talamasca.
I don't care.
That's a picture from Talamasca right there, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
All right, let's hit it.
Start with Talamasca. All right. I guess the first thing to talk about is this whole flashback. We kind of had this conversation last night. I still don't understand why they've waited till now, how many years later to... I mean, I guess they've been looking for the book, but I thought when I first watched this that the fire was the present, and that part of this, like, talking about the old Talamasca was from however many years ago it was. I forget,
1972. 72.
I didn't realize watching it the first time, though, that the fire was from 1972 as well, because I have to question, like, all of their information, supposedly.
Don't you see it on fire in the distance?
No, I get that, but I mean, I didn't.
This title card comes up at the end.
I didn't flash the card to realize that was part of the flashback. And I just question, like, that they would have had all this information in this library and they only had one. Like, I get not wanting it on the internet, but to have it just seemed so stupid that they would have had one copy in one library, even though they had all these different mother houses and none of them had the information but that one. I don't know. To me, it just irritated.
You'd think they would have learned their lesson after Alexandria.
Yeah. But to be fair, there are many, many texts in the world that maybe only one copy exists, that are not every book in the entire, despite Google's best efforts, every valuable book in the world is not on the internet right now. And there's a lot that are only one copy. And if the museum they're in burned down, it would be gone. But those items are not of critical importance in the war against vampires.
Yeah, that's I guess my point. And the fact also that it was in 1972 and they're still looking for it, and yet it isn't like a thing. Like she says that they don't even necessarily know it, believe it exists. It's mostly Helen believes it, and it's so many decades later. I don't know, just that whole idea.
Believe they're still looking for it. There are people who are still looking for paintings.
Yes, but not out in the open looking for it. Because she makes a point of saying that most people don't seem to necessarily believe it even exists.
Oh, right. So I mean, in the end, it's a MacGuffin, right? And so we have to just accept that someone's looking for it. But I mean, there are lost objects.
How's it a MacGuffin?
Because who cares what the 752 is really? It's just about a thing that Helen wants, that Jasper also wants, and that they're trying to both get. And it could be a necklace, it could be a cursed object, it could be the 7. I feel like it's not really what it is. I feel is not important, but I could be wrong. It could be the key to the entire series.
Yeah,
but I think I right now think it's a MacGuffin. And it doesn't really matter.
And I don't know that. And my point about the flashback and that isn't important. I didn't realize it till I watched it again, because I honestly was like, oh wait, that happened that many years ago.
Well, they put the title card.
I know they did. I didn't look and see, oh, the fire's in the background when they have the date on, because they had the flashback, then the date, as opposed to they did it backwards. It's just, I just didn't pay enough attention.
I said to Jamie last night, I was surprised you have all this valuable text with no fire suppression system in your library. There was no whatever that gas is that shoots out sometimes to suppress a fire, or foam, or there was no sprinkler system. There was no sometimes they suck the oxygen out of a room, right? But I guess it was an old building. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's irrelevant. I mean, the point is, you're right. The point is they're looking for the book. It doesn't matter when it was taken, they've been looking for it. But and that's kind of the whole point of what everything's going on. I also question the fact that Kevis, if she did have it, would have been just carrying it around with her. But I guess at the same time, if you have something everybody's after, you would try to keep it on yourself. So maybe that is the case. I don't know. But we don't really even know absolutely if she had it. We just know that the guy says he saw it, and we're supposed to believe that, because even Jasper believes that at the end. He says, you saw it, I know who has it, or I know who killed Owen, or whatever it is he says. So we're supposed to take that.
Well, he says, I know who has it because I know who killed.
Right. But he says, you saw it. That's why he says they can work together. He didn't really see anything. All he saw was a book in a backpack that could have been, who knows?
Yeah, right? We don't even know if Guy really saw a book, right?
Well, it doesn't matter if he saw it or not. He's claiming to have, because he's trying to ingratiate himself.
Yeah.
That's the point.
And Jasper might or might not believe him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like this whole episode shows a few things overall. One, well, we already know this. The guy is very stupid as a character because he left his DNA everywhere. But
I kept saying that the whole episode, and when he goes back to the scene, the crime, I'm like, has this guy never heard of DNA or fingerprints?
It's like, I guess we're going to come to that shot in a couple moments. So I'll let Jamie and I talked about that at length last night. But if anybody's super nerding in on the show, you can go on our YouTube channel and see the breakdown show that we do on Monday nights.
Yes, our live from Monday,
which is far more extensive than the discussion
much more into it. Yeah. But they know there's DNA, and you just kind of question. It's like I was saying last night. I mean, you guys watch more spy movies than I do, but even I would know better than to do 90% of the stuff Guy does. Yeah. You got to be pretty thick. And I don't know if it's supposed to be he's that bad, or if it's that the writing isn't fantastic. I'm honestly,
you know what? Sure. I gotta say, I've actually noticed this in quite a few shows where the characters are not careful when doing nefarious things. It's almost like the shows are like, everybody gets the idea. We don't have time to actually show them being careful.
Maybe. I guess.
Or
It's
maybe
I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just saying I get that.
like how we complained at length for Revival because they didn't wear gloves. She didn't wear gloves. Remember when we got into that conversation?
She was a cop, but maybe it's tough to say whether. I mean, yes, whether it's a shortcut, right? Like they don't have time to write it, or whether Guy is really supposed to be a dope. And not, he just supposedly read like 50 books on spycraft, and it never said like don't shed your DNA.
I think most people would know. Don't go to a crime scene and leave your DNA. Don't touch a dead body you didn't kill unless you want to get caught. Yeah. Things like that. But yeah, because I think he even doesn't he after he does it, he even looks at the blood on his hands like, oh, there's blood on my hands. He probably wiped it on the wall, knowing him.
I mean, in this episode, he whines at Helen. He's like, Helen, I was at a crime scene. I could be a suspect. And in the next scene, he breaks into the sealed crime scene.
Back to the scene of the crime, right?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Goes back to this awesome Jamie.
Yeah. And they just assume that they're going to be able to fix it. I mean, obviously, this cop. And I don't.
Ridge. Her name is Ridge, right?
Ridge. Sorry, wrong picture. Obviously, she's not buying what happened, but they think that they can just keep her quiet. The question is, how far is she going to go, and what are they going to do to get her to shut up?
Ooh, doesn't she look a little bit like Mary Gross in that photograph? Remember Mary Gross from SNL?
Oh. I'm trying to think.
A little bit.
Mary Gross was a comedian who was on Saturday Night Live. But AJ, Jamie and I talked a lot last night. Not a lot, but Jamie and Scarlett and I talked a bit about Ridge. How do you like her, or do you think about her at all?
I like her because she's smart. She's not, a lot of these shows like this where the cops are not the main characters, they kind of downplay cops and they're dumb. She's not. I mean, they've already caught him tracking Archie, so she's already on his tail.
Yeah.
They say that London is one of the most surveilled cities, there's cameras everywhere in London.
Yeah.
And maybe Helen should have warned Guy about that there's cameras everywhere.
He's from America. Maybe he's even I know that, and I'm not.
Yeah.
You should know that there's CCTV. But they just assume that they can sweep it under the rug, and I'm guessing that she's going to become probably more of a problem for them.
Jamie and I like her also, AJ, right, Jamie?
Yeah, I like her. I think she's a cool character, and I think that she's making more sense than a lot of the characters on this show. Yes. Although I'm not sure that when she goes to the witch, showing her just Guy's sneakers instead of his whole body really made any sense. But that's another problem.
Because like she said, they couldn't get a clear shot of his face, and the sneakers stand out.
I guess, but to me, you might still have a better chance of recognizing the person, showing them the rest of them, and not just their shoes that apparently only one person in England owns. I don't know.
You're going to come to that? You have a picture of those sneakers later, Jamie?
Yeah, later.
Right.
Well, let's go a little bit more.
I thought about that, so yeah.
Okay, so sorry, I keep trying to bring something. So they meet back up with him, and they're talking about the DNA, and we learn that Olive here is his handler, and we kind of talked about, I do too, but we kind of talked about it doesn't seem like she's the one really in charge of him. Helen seems to be, so I'm not 100% sure if there's more to it than that, or
a handler handles them, you know what I mean? Helen's the top dog.
But Helen seems to handle him. What has Olive done? Do we assume Olive's putting those white X's on the phone booth?
Yes.
Is that what he's doing?
Yes, but it took her how long to actually meet him? To even, you would think that she would have handled him right away if she's going to.
Well, a lot of times people, they don't meet a lot of times they don't actually, with spy stuff, they don't actually meet ever.
Oh yeah.
They just do these.
I don't really watch
clandestine, dead drops.
Helen should have hired AJ instead of Guy.
I can't read minds.
We also talked a lot about the fact that he's demanding she tell him the truth and actually expects it, which you work for a spy organization. He has to know that they're lying to him. Now, I think that they should have told him the danger he's in, but the rest of the stuff, for him to actually expect that they're just going to be like 100% upfront with him, is really, really naive, extremely naive.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll agree, AJ, but we kind of he's a big giant whiny. I think he's a giant whiny baby.
I don't. I mean, I appreciate the fact that he called Helen out on all her shit.
On what shit?
On what shit? She's lying to him literally about everything.
Okay, but he works for basically the CIA of witchcraft and supernatural CIA. Like, he's worked there for 1 minute. Like, I'm not.
But he's been manipulated the whole time. So I don't blame him for saying what the fuck.
I mean, he's known her for a hot minute, and he really, like, I just thought he's like, really, you're surprised that you're not read in on everything. You've worked there. You're basically the intern, and you.
But they're totally using him. They are totally using him. She even says we brought you in really quick because of the situation we're in. You know.
Yes.
But like, and then don't tell the kid your mother caused so many problems, and then not tell him what those problems. You know what I mean? Like. I don't blame him at all for calling her out on her shit. And then when he's like, you know what, screw this shit, I'm out of here. She's like, guess what? You're not getting that job. You have no choice.
Yeah, that's part
some bullshit.
I mean, but
that was their agreement. That I agree with you with.
You can't ask for a top secret clearance and ask to be read in, and then also ask to walk away. Like, he met vampires. You can't just walk away.
But again,
but that was their agreement.
This was thrust upon him, you know what I mean? And he even said, like, when they first started, he's like, don't hide anything from me, don't lie to me.
He made his bed, and now he's unwilling to lie in it.
I'm
shocked you feel that way, Karen, because they have manipulated this kid from birth.
How did they manipulate him from birth? They didn't tell him anything.
That's the problem.
No, I mean, they paid for the best schools, and he went to law school, and they gave him and then Helen, like, oh, what did I just do? That's an accident.
Long show.
I just touched my mouse pad, and it just. I mean, they made him an offer that I guess he couldn't refuse because he felt it like his mother was maybe dangled in front of him, right? But I feel like they didn't manipulate him at all until the last month since he met them. I don't know that sending you to Columbia Law School counts as, or not even sending you, but paying your tuition at Columbia Law School with a fake scholarship. I mean, is that manipulative?
Yes, absolutely.
How?
Well, first of all, he thought he earned the scholarship on his own.
Okay, but he earned his acceptance to the school, and he got the grades and made his way through and got a law degree. He's smart, and he got in and he did his thing. His foster mother is the one who really lied to him. That's who he should be mad at. Maybe.
Well, he's mad at her too.
He is. I just think that, okay, yes, in the last, however long he's known Helen, like a month or whatever. Yes, manipulative, but, he manipulated the people in the job interview, right? Like, he read their minds, read their thoughts. He can't really read your mind, but he can read your thoughts in the moment, right? I just think so last night in the chat, Golden Child used the word pompous. He suggested that that guy is pompous, and I felt that was correct. He's very demanding, very entitled. He thinks he should know everything. He thinks Helen should trust him, but he won't trust her. Like, he's just I can't stand guys.
But here's the thing. They need him more than he needs them.
I don't know about that.
I don't think he knows it. I kind of feel in the middle. As I said last night, I do think that Guy's sort of supposed to be like our view of it, like trying to find the things out. So I understand him asking the questions, but he does a lot of times come across as whiny. I do think that if you work for a spy agency, you probably should know they're not going to tell you everything. Now, as for the job, he did say at the beginning, you know, I'm doing this and these are my stipulations to risk my life for you. And I don't think that she should have done what she did. I do think certain things they should tell him. Like, I think that he should have been told, you know, the last one who had your job got killed, because he is putting his life on the line. And I think that if he wants to quit, he should be allowed to walk away. It's not supposed to be the mob. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be a government agency.
Okay, but
it's not even a government agency.
Well,
it's a secret agency that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
How can you take a job? You know the job is spying on vampires, and then you act like you're surprised that a person was killed. I mean, come on, guy. He's like, oh, the person who before me was killed. I can't believe you didn't tell me. Like,
but they absolutely should have told him.
I think it's more that they're not.
Hey, listen.
Yes, he shouldn't be surprised, but I think it's more that they're
because they weren't giving him an option to turn the job down. Hey, the person who had this job before you was killed in a very brutal way.
He had an option to turn the job. He didn't have to take this job. She only gave I'll tell you right now, he had no option to turn this down. He could have turned it down, and I guarantee you, Helen would have found another way to convince him.
Maybe.
She was not going to let him go because he has something they need.
She told him he didn't have to take the job. She gave him the choice.
She said it, didn't mean it. I don't believe for a second that she lets him walk away.
To be fair, we're also forgetting one thing. Soledad actually wasn't killed, because I keep saying the same thing and then it keeps hitting me once, but that's not true. Technically, she unalived herself. So yes,
however,
she needed to get away from them, but it wasn't like somebody, you know, hunted her down and killed her. That didn't actually happen.
Right.
So
they hunted her down. She just killed herself before they could kill her.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that part, I think, should have been told to him, because he's risking his life. All the other secrets, no. I do think he whines a lot, expecting to know everything. But I think at least how much danger he's in, that should have been up front. And also, I don't think that she has the right now to threaten him and be like, you can't really quit. I know I told you can, but you can't. I'd be flipping out on that part, because that was what the agreement was. And I know it's a spy organization, but
I've never worked for a spy organization. I don't know if they give you a lecture that you might get killed. I've never been in the military. Do they sit you down and lecture you that you could get sent to a war down and get killed? I don't know. But I think Guy to act like he's shocked is disingenuous. He signed on to spy on vampires. That's
right. He signed on to spy on them. Now Helen keeps changing the game on him. It's, hey, you're just observing. Don't get too close. See what you can learn, and we'll go from there. Now she's telling him, oh, we need you to infiltrate them.
Yeah,
he chooses to, but
he does.
But before that, like, when he asks about his mother, just tell them. What's the big secret? What's the big terrible thing? That's so bad that you can't tell this kid about his mother, who you've been lying to him about the whole time. Wait till he finds out that's grandma.
I kind of think, though, that maybe the thing with his mother is more like that's their bargaining chip. Like, they know that he's only doing the job because he's trying to find out answers. And like, once they give him those answers, he won't want to work for them anymore. And yeah, they're going to still try to force him, but
he doesn't have a choice anymore, because that job at being a lawyer is gone.
Yeah, I don't think he's trying to find out answers. I think he's trying to find confirmation of the story he's built in his mind about his mother. I mentioned this to Jamie last night. I think that he has to believe that the Talamasca did something to his mother, and that they forced her to abandon him, because the alternative is that she chose the Talamasca over him and chose to abandon him, which I think is still very possible, that she chose the Talamasca.
You know what?
Mind. Yeah, that part I agree with.
I can't face that.
The answer that's the thing, though. The answer to that doesn't matter, but tell him.
Yeah.
I think he has a right to know.
But you do think that we also talked about, you said you do think maybe that she's his grandmother or whatever. See, I said that last week. Was his mother. But then the dates don't really work out. So yeah, but she's definitely related to him.
I said last week that I think it's his grandma.
Okay.
And
I couldn't remember.
And I think his mother left the Talamasca, and that's why she's so pissed off, because like, you're my daughter. Where are you going?
Yeah.
Well, if she left the Talamasca, she should have somebody laser off her humongous tattoo all the way up her forearm.
That I agree with.
That was a little much.
But then again, the Talamasca is a secret order, so nobody would know what it is unless they're actually telling us.
If you're a vampire, a witch, or a demon,
then you know, yeah, and then you know to steer clear, I guess. Okay, so then we have this guy, Checkers. I can't remember his name.
Checkers.
So he's bragging. He's been demoted.
Yeah,
and we kind of talked about that. I wasn't 100% sure that he didn't really think that they were promoting him because this guy's an idiot. Sending him to a different branch or whatever. I know that he was just bragging, but I still don't think that he quite got it at this point of what was really. I mean, I know he didn't expect to be grabbed by people, but like, I don't think that he really got that they were still pissed at him after what happened. But I don't know.
He was being sent to open the Jakarta branch, right? I mean,
I think he might have believed that. I think the guy's an idiot. And
in many lines of work, it is a big kind of stamp of approval to be chosen to open a new office.
Yeah. And like you said, we think that
in other lines of work, it is a big disgrace to be washed out of a big office and sent to start a backwater office somewhere. I'm not saying Jakarta's a backwater. It's a huge city that probably has a shit ton of vampires there, right? And other kinds of creatures there. But
you know that.
Yeah, I think, bragging, I think he's a guy that he's definitely going to position it to his coworkers as a promotion. And he's sort of, trying to, he's bragging or he's trying to save face or whatever he's doing. He's a big talker here in the bar.
Yeah. Whether he believes it or not. All right. So then she does tell him some things.
Helen.
Helen does tell him some things. Trying to think specifically what he finds out in this one. I think we've talked about a lot of what he finds out. I mean, she tells him about the book, about the 752, about how important it is. That's kind of what this scene is about more than anything, I think.
Exposition dump, the scene.
Yeah. And then we get Olive, who basically tells him that she doesn't know that she believes it exists, but she trusts Helen. That's pretty much what those two scenes are about. And then he does get a call from his, that's not his boss. That's the guy he was going to work for. But he gets a call from him. It sounds like his job's still in place. We did talk about, I don't know whether his job is still there or not. I think that Helen was threatening to take it away. Now, whether or not she would have or intends to do anything, I don't know. But it was definitely a threat when she says he can't leave. She's trying to
say he can't leave. She says, I wouldn't do that
idea. If the secret government, if somebody who works, I'm sorry, I keep calling it government. If somebody who works for a secret order tells you that would be a very bad idea if you leave us, well, I don't see how else you could.
It's a veiled threat, but she doesn't say you can't leave. She says it wouldn't be a good idea.
You can't go back to your job.
Last night, maybe she means if you leave now, you'll never get the answers you seek. Maybe she means like if you leave now, you won't have the job, but I'm not going to kill you. Like, she's not going to kill him, right?
No, but she's definitely letting him think that.
Maybe she means, like, if you leave the Talamasca, the vampires will be on you in a minute and kill you. Like, we don't really know what she means by that. It is a veiled threat, but she doesn't say you can't leave the Talamasca.
No, but I think it's definitely implied something very bad will happen to him if he does.
I
don't know. What do you think, AJ?
Time will tell. I mean, did you think it was a big threat or?
Oh, it's absolutely a threat.
Yeah.
The specifics of it are vague, but it's a threat nonetheless.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a good idea.
I don't want to do that.
You don't want me to call Tony.
So then we have this stuff with the wake at the houseboat and him finding out bits about Kevis. And it seems like maybe she did really like him, even though they knew each other for a minute. Had told this woman, and I don't remember her name. I don't know. Doris had told her about him, and she knows he's Talamasca. He asked her about the book, and she really doesn't know anything. So we don't really get a whole lot from this.
she says she doesn't know anything. We don't know if she really doesn't know anything. She
Right.
says
She does say not to trust them, though.
she
But
could
I
be
think that's
bullshitting. I thought she might be bullshitting. I don't know, AJ, what you thought when she says Kevis really liked you, and I'm like, really? Like she was a witch whose talent was seduction, who used you to find out what you know, but she really liked you. I don't know.
Well, she follows him later and sees him goes into the London house. So
yeah, and I'm curious why.
well, because it's right after the cop shows her the picture of him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm tending to think that we've been told that Kevis even said to him, I'm breaking the rules. I do think that Kevis was supposed to like him. I mean, she knew him, like I said, for 5 minutes. She liked him enough to sleep with him. Was she in love with him? No. But I think some of that, there's probably a little bit.
Maybe she had sex with him to get inside his apartment and check it out while he was sleeping.
Maybe. But he's such a bad spy. I don't know that he would have had anything hidden.
I mean, maybe breaking the rules. Maybe witches just don't sleep with Talamasca. Maybe that, maybe she did it for a reason. Yes, Doris is saying she really liked you. The reason I have trouble with this is because I just hate Guy so much that I just can't believe that this hot girl liked him. Honestly, I hate Guy. I mean, he's the worst. I want him to be eaten by vampires.
Oh, it's so funny. I know you feel very strongly about it.
I really
so what did you make of this scene? I don't know if she was trying on identities. I mean, she's got the wig, she's got the glasses. They didn't really go into what that was about, but it was a little bizarre.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I wasn't sure what the hell was going on here either.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Particularly because this isn't even her apartment. Like, she's visiting London. This isn't her house, right. And she's got like all of this all these like wigs and stuff hanging around. I guess it's just set dressing. Maybe
takes them with her. Yeah, well, maybe she takes them with her everywhere. So she's looking up. I believe that this person, this Arthur Jameson, I think that he's supposed to be the one that ran, or at least one of the people high up in the that school, and that's where that she went to visit that. Because we really don't get anything from this other than his name and date of birth, and for some reason they think it's important to tell us his astrological sign. We had a discussion about that. But there's the school, and that is where she goes to visit. That it seems like, from her memory, we don't know if the dates 100% match up. We talked about this last week, but it seems like she was there as a kid, and that we're being told that, if it's accurate. And then we also have Owen here, who goes to talk to Jasper and says that, his name's Owen. What was the name of the dead guy? I already forgot the dead guy. I'm getting him mixed up.
Archie.
That Archie's not coming back. And we find out we find out that he's working for Jasper because he is temporarily helping his cancer. I thought he was going to drink the blood. It's a little strange to me, as I said last night, that they had.
That's what I thought too.
And I don't know what exactly that is. We talked about that. Like, is that supposed to be skin cancer? Like, what is that? Is it a radiation burn? We don't know. But whatever it is, he puts it directly on his skin, and it temporarily gives him relief for whatever kind of cancer he has that is causing him issues. And obviously, Jasper is kind of dangling that over him to get what he wants. Because he makes a point later up to Guy saying it'll eventually make him better if he cooperates. So he has no intention of away.
I think he's dangling the dark gift. Like, I'll cure you. Yeah. Like, you can only be really cured by being turned, which I think is why Jasper's not letting him drink the blood. He can only apply the blood to his. Well, just
drinking the blood isn't going to turn him.
No, I know you have to be drained, but and we see later what happens to checkers when they don't drain enough and you don't drink enough, right? You become a revenant. You don't get the gift.
I would still think drinking the blood would heal him more than dabbing it on his wounds.
That's what I thought too.
We don't really know. We don't really.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Anne Rice, so I'm not. You guys know more than I do, so.
And we don't know what rules Jasper has set, right? Jasper is definitely trying to.
He might say you're not allowed to drink this. That's a good point. He might say, "This is what I'm giving you. This is what you do with it."
Yeah.
And he probably is scared shitless and does what he says. So, we have more with Ridge figuring out more of what's going on, or trying to figure out what's going on and being blocked.
This is where she figures out the CCTV with Guy, right? And then here comes
Olive
fake Rachel / Olive comes to the
comes in as MI5 supposedly, and basically is like, turn over all your evidence. And they do so even though Ridge doesn't agree. And we kind of talked about how this guy that clearly is not her boss, but just somebody at the front desk, is like very dismissive and gives her what she wants and ignores what Ridge wants.
MI5, more like MI10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think we talked about this last night. I think her beauty is part of the reason why this guy, this desk officer, is so solicitous of her.
Well, yeah, age-old trick.
Yep, and then he's like, "No, Ridge, go away. No, Ridge, like, this is fine. I got it. I'm on it. We don't need you." He's very dismissive of Ridge, right? We talked about this also,
which is probably going to help put fire in her ass to get her to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
All right, now this is where we have Checkers. As we said, he gives him he bites Jasper bites him, gives him a little bit of his blood to drink, and then they bury him, and he says this is going to be the hard part. Now we also talked about this. I guess Anne Rice, the whole burying thing isn't part of the ritual then in Anne Rice. So what was, do you understand why they buried him? I know in some vampire lore they have to bury them. I just assumed that was why, but I guess it sounds like from what Karen said that's not the case. So do you
thematic on TV? It's got a it
looks good.
Looks good on TV.
Yeah.
Like, so we went around and around it until I finally I was like, wait, I think I know this, and I Googled it real quick. In the Anne Rice universe, the vampire has to drain you to the point of death and then allow you to drink their own blood to restore you, and that's the gift. And the more vampire blood they let you have, the more powerful you become, right? So Jasper drinking a little.
That's not necessarily true.
You know? All right. But Jasper only drinking a little and giving a little is not enough to really be the gift. That's what turns them into these like revenants or whatever they are, these cotton cages, right?
Okay, so these aren't exactly regular vampires then. See, I thought it was just they were being kept starving, but they're not fully vampire then, or
he is only feeding them like ferrets and chickens and not allowing them to
after this part. Right? He does give them some of his blood. So they can never be full like regular vampires then, is what you're saying? Like they're always
they're feral.
Yeah, they're not gonna they didn't get enough of it when they returned to make them like a full, powerful, coherent person.
Yeah, this is the part though I wish like stuff like that, like I think they should have given more context, because the fact that you had to like look that up and research it is not a positive thing.
Because I had to kind of remember it.
Maybe they will at some point.
But burying them, I have no idea. AJ, that's like the reasons vampires like sleep in dirt are really for protection, not for.
Just looks good on TV.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, now here's
looks good on TV.
Cool. Yeah, that looks awesome. So this is some kind of school that she went to, if we're to believe what she says.
You know what it reminded me of, Karen? And Jamie, maybe the Red Room.
Oh, yeah. It is like the Red Room.
Oh, kind of. Yeah. I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah. Now I'm going to be going down that rabbit hole. I've already been going down too many of those right now. So I'm assuming, and we also had an argument about this because they did not say this, but there's some stuff in the preview that leads me to believe this, but I think that's supposed to be her sister, not just her friend. That to me, they look like they're twins or very close to that they're definitely.
They definitely look related.
Yeah. And she tells whenever Guy comes in and says that he's following her.
Look at these two girls have like two braids, but look at the girl sitting behind in the background. She's got a braid down her back. I just think these girls are wearing the exact same clothes and the exact same hairstyle, and they are to make you think. I think it's possible she's a friend still. She could be a sister, but she could be a sister, but there's nothing ever said. I'm not even sure any of what we saw in this black and white flashback is correct. We only saw it
black and white, but yeah.
Well, it's sepia tone with a little bit of color, right?
That's better. Yeah, that's a better.
I just kind of went to bat for Helen earlier in our discussion, but this whole thing runs over Helen's voice over what she's telling Guy. And we can't necessarily take this, I think, as like actual facts that happened. And And
she could be lying through her teeth.
Yeah.
The point is, what she tells him is that her family died in a car crash. She was brought here. They did experiments to see if she had any kind of special powers. When she didn't, they sent her back to Cambridge. Well, not back to Cambridge. They sent her to Cambridge. Clearly, she wasn't at Cambridge at this age. They sent her back to the United States, or
to the United States.
To the United States to go to Cambridge. And she says that not everybody got to leave. Some of them stayed there. So it's implying, and again, implying, I know it's that, but it's implying that that girl is still stayed there because maybe she did have powers, which we don't really know for sure even what girl she could be the other girl and her friend left. We don't really know. I think the big thing that's important to me about this scene that we talked a lot about is the fact that Guy is this really, really, really horrible spy, but suddenly we're to believe that he read some books and was able to tail her. So we came to the conclusion that she let him follow her on purpose. What do you think of that?
She seemed very surprised to me that he was there.
So how do you think he suddenly knew how to spy enough to follow her that she didn't know it, though? That's kind of the issue I had with the scene. And Karen's like, oh, but it was
He read a book.
No, so Helen just goes to this vacant building to wander around and reminisce, and he happens to catch her there, and there's this opportunity for her to, I felt like Helen was like telling him a story, like, I'm also an abandoned child. I'm also an orphan. We have a lot in common, God. Like, I thought it was an opportunity for Helen to spin a tale that might make a connection with Guy. And I thought it was a setup.
I agree with that. I agree with that part, but unless she was just playing that she was surprised he was there.
Yeah, I think she allowed him to follow her there. What was she even doing there? She just goes and hangs out and like condemns.
All I know is she must not be paying attention to what she's doing if Guy, of all people, was able to find her for real. That's my problem with that. He read a book and suddenly he knows how to be a spy when his 2 weeks of training did nothing.
He was all right. There's a difference between being a super spy and being able to track somebody.
I know. I'm just.
I mean, he followed Archie. No problem.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, Archie wasn't very careful, though, to be fair.
No.
Anyway, so yeah, she tells him this story. This is where she also says to him, you can't go back to your job. This would be a very bad idea. I lied to you. My name isn't even Helen. Yeah. Now we also
goes, if that's even your name, she's like, of course it's not.
Yeah. And this is where we also had the discussion of, I said that I think that, he went in there and she said, do anything. So technically he didn't go against what she said, but
you're jumping ahead. This is where she says like, oh, I know what you mean. He says like, what should I do? And she's like, I'm not going to give you any plan because I think whatever you do would be better than anything I could tell you to do. Like she wants him to be spontaneous.
She knows him,
right?
She knows him, yeah, she knows him being spontaneous and ad-libbing the situation is more believable.
Right. But I personally don't think that she expected him to go in there. And as I said, that we argued about throw him under the bus or throw her under the bus. I felt like he's really pissed at what she did. And now he's like, I'll work with you, Jasper, because I want to make her pay. And he's just being, I think here, whiny. But I think that now he wants to get something up on her. And I think that that's why he told Jasper what he did. But I don't know that it makes sense that if she wanted him to do what she wanted, that she would have said these things to piss him off. So it is possible she did it with the intent, knowing that's probably what he did.
Oh, I disagree with that. I think that his ploy is he's playing Jasper.
Yeah.
Whether or not Jasper actually believes him is a different story. But his plan was to go in there as the pissed off, acting pissed off. And the best lies are always partial in truth.
Yeah, and we talked about how he can read his mind. So if he tells him that stuff, it makes sense.
Well, I mean, if they block each other, that's true too. But they block each other.
I just didn't think that Helen expected him to do that.
No, I'm sure that Helen's didn't expect him to do it that way, but he still accomplished the goal.
That is true. And she
told him to do whatever he wants. And
right.
I think it's actually not that ingenious a plan. Like I've seen 100 spy movies where spies are like, oh, my boss betrayed me. I'm pissed at them. Let me turn sides or whatever. Isn't it like right? Like it's not that unusual a plan, but
no, it's not that original, but And again, like I said, who knows if Jasper even actually believes him or he's just playing along.
Yeah. But
it's not a bad plan.
I mean, I agree with both of you guys, and we did talk about it last night, that there's an element. He is angry at Helen, and if Jasper should try to read him, even if he's not successful, he will get those feelings of resentment and betrayal are real and will right. But I don't think he's really trying to betray Helen. I think
I don't either.
House, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't believe he's flipped sides at all.
I think maybe we're supposed to think that, but
we're not.
I don't know why. I don't know what kind of idiot that's watching the show would think that, but
I just pay attention. And I really, if you think about it, like, okay, so he's mad at Helen, but he knows the mother house was invaded, is taken over by a vampire. He knows Jasper's a vampire, right? Jasper has read him before. Like, as angry as he is, he's not going to throw in with a vampire.
No.
That's right.
Well, he's pretty stupid, though. Yes, I don't think he would either. I'm just being facetious, but
I know. Even Guy's not that dumb, right? He's pretty dumb, but yeah.
He's pretty dumb. We'll see. The other scene that we have here. Okay, wait. We have Palma Shelby. Hello, just showed up. Says,
"Hi,
is Helen, his aunt, biological mom's twin." I don't know. We were talking about this earlier. I thought that is what I thought. That was my theory.
I think Helen's too old.
But we think Helen might be too old, so maybe she's the grandmother. It doesn't really the dates work out as well for her to be an aunt.
So in real life, Elizabeth McGovern, I think, is 64 years old, and setting aside Nick Denton, the actor's age, I think that if Guy just graduated from law school, he's about 24-ish years old. So
it's more likely she's, although to be fair, if they aren't twins, okay, if it's her sister, and this is a big if, because I know you're right, we don't know that, but I'm saying if what I'm saying is true and it's her sister, it is also possible that her sister was younger than her, but at the same time, that girl they look about the same age. So I think that would be too much of a leap. Yeah. So I think grandmother makes sense.
I think she could be his aunt. I think even if they were twins, a woman 64 could have a 20. You'd be 40 when you had your baby. It happens.
Right? It still could. It does happen. I just think that it might end up she's the grandmother, but because that was my theory right away, that it was that the girl in the picture, who I think is her sister, was his mother, but we don't really know. That's just my theory, or was my theory. Now I think grandmother makes a little more sense. All right. What else? So the other thing is
you also explain, and it would soften Helen's interest in, like, at the beginning of this episode, we disagreed a little bit about, like, Helen's manipulated him his entire life. But if she's his aunt, maybe what she's done is protect him his entire life.
Yeah, you could look at it a little different. That's a good point.
If you're protecting him, why bring him in?
I don't
know. Yeah.
We don't know. I mean, he could be exposed and, I don't know, because his powers are manifesting and he's a complete dumbass and needs to be schooled. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So then we go back. We kind of talked about this already. This is where she talks to Doris and says, "Hey, have you seen these shoes?" I don't know. I think the way she did it was a little weird, but regardless of that,
I thought it was so dumb. Like, unless
Doris lied. The point is, Doris lied. That's what's important about this scene, is that she said no, she didn't see him. So, AJ, why do you think she lied? Do you think that her protecting Guy protects the witches? Because that's kind of what I wondered, or do you think that, she wants to help him? I don't know. What do you think?
I think she wants to look into it on her own. I don't think they want the police involved in any way, shape, or form. They have their own form of justice.
That's fair.
I kind of agree. I think if you were a supernatural being, a witch or whoever, look, there are plenty of people who are not supernatural who are suspicious of law enforcement and don't want anything to do with them, right?
Yes. There's that too.
True.
And also, like, Ridge was kind of weird. Like, she was a little judgy about their lifestyle, right? Yeah. And which I thought was really not that weird. As Scarlett said last night, they live together in a boat? The rent is really high.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
Shoes. So in the rest of this episode, I was looking at his shoes obsessively, and they look like pretty normal, not that great shoes. And I thought it was ridiculous that in a city the size of London, you
It
would
only
think
works
you
very
could
good.
single out a pair of sneakers on a guy's feet would be
They're
like,
a weird color though.
no, they look yellow here, but they're
I think
actually
they're
kind of
white.
white in the later scenes. I think they don't.
Yeah.
See, I thought they still looked yellow in the scenes.
You must know they're American shoes. That's all I gotta say. They're American made.
There's no American shoes.
I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
I know. Okay, all right, you are. I also don't think Guy is some kind of sneakerhead who buys like $10,000 pairs of one-of-a-kind sneakers, right? Like,
I agree.
like,
I agree.
like I think they're worn out. I thought it was really dumb, and yet it was so obvious that this has to come back around in later episodes. Right?
Yeah.
Definitely. I also want to bring up Paul says that thinks he's bait for his mother. I like that idea though too. Like maybe that's
He actually accuses that of Helen of that.
Yeah.
That he's bait to bring his mom in because she's
Yeah.
gone. Like, yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah. We'll have to.
If he doesn't get himself killed before she shows up.
Yeah. Yeah.
He has
If
plot
has
armor.
enough brains to stay there. I don't. And as much as he's a bad spy, I don't think they're going to kill him. I think he's the main character, so
He's
okay
the star.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So he comes and talks to Owen, and this is where he's like, I know you're lying. I know you're not the boss. And tell him to come out, or I'm going to go to the cops. And, basically says a bunch of shit to get Jasper to come out, which works. And Jasper, I love how Jasper's like, no, don't do that. Like he's, really sarcastic. Like, I know you're bullshitting too. I like that scene. I also really like how he broke off the liquid and it's like in mid pour. Oh, they did that. That's pretty cool. When he froze Owen mid pour. And
I don't
which
love
one was it Scarlett who said when he unfreezes him, he's going to have a puddle on the desk because it's going to go.
Yeah,
everywhere.
because he has no glass. He's taking the glass away.
Yeah.
I don't like the whole vampire freezing time thing.
I don't either.
I don't care about the freezing time. I'm saying I like how they had the glass or the drink frozen in midair. I thought was cool.
The liquid.
Not so much the power.
Yeah, that's the only thing that was cool about that.
Yeah,
otherwise, I don't like the freezing time thing either.
Yeah, I'm not sure that necessarily makes sense to me for vampire power. But again, I don't know Anne Rice, so maybe that's in the books.
It's not.
I can't remember.
That is not an Anne Rice thing at all.
I forgot you guys said it wasn't. All right. Well, either way, I liked the effect. Was my point with that. Not
It
necessarily.
was funny. But
Okay, you can buy that at I've seen
Yes,
it.
I know. It's like the fake shit, right? Or the fake throw up. I know that. But it still looks cool, I think. It's Zach Morris at base.
Zach Morris.
Oh, that was my show back in the day.
I'm so glad that Shelby has joined the chat.
Yeah. All right. So basically we kind of said this. The guy's like, I know I've seen the book. I'm after the book. And he tells him that he knows who has the book because he knows it's the person who killed Archie. And they kind of make a very light agreement, I guess would be the best way to say it, that they're going to maybe work together to find the book, which, are they both lying? Do they intend to help each other? Are they only going to help each other until they don't have to and then screw each other over? Probably.
Yes.
That's probably.
It seemed great until the next part of the scene where a guy's like, all right, I'm going home now. And Jasper's like, no,
you're not.
you're not. Right?
Nope, you don't want to be out there at this time of night. It's not safe.
There's lots of other vampires out there. I don't think he's going to hurt him again. I think he's just trying to scare the shit out of him.
No,
but
I think he just wants to keep it down. I think he wants to keep him, at arm's length.
Yeah, that too.
I think what I said last night, I said, Guy just kidnapped himself. like Guy played a bit into Jasper's hands, or Jasper has the upper hand, and Guy can't. Now Guy can't leave, and Guy has to pretend that
People keep telling Guy he can't leave.
Yeah. Oh, guess what? Someone else is telling Guy he can't leave.
Yeah, he's kind of screwed one way or the other, right?
Well, this is much worse because Helen says that he can't leave the country. Jasper won't let him leave the house.
Carl, stay in the house.
He's a bit, Carl. Yeah, he's stuck.
All right.
Cool. All right.
Well, that's the end of this. As I said last night, I like this episode better. I feel like it moved along a bit more. More action. There's still a lot of an info dump, but it felt less so.
There's 6.
Yeah,
We're
there's
halfway
6.
through now.
So I feel like more stuff was happening, and I became more interested at this point. What do you think, AJ? Overall, what did you think of the episode?
It's kind of your typical run-of-the-mill mystery, and we don't know a lot of stuff right now. There's so many questions right now.
We need, I think, a little more vampire action. Like if you just cut the word vampire and witch out, it'd be a pretty run-of-the-mill like spy. Like there's a MacGuffin, let's spy on each other to try to find it, blah blah. Like we can get a little more supernatural action going and like vampire. Yeah. Like I like to know more about what Jasper's really up to, other than just taking over the London Mother House is like not that exciting for a 500 like I want to see a Lestat level of plan and cruelty involved here. Right?
One thing I forgot to mention before. Did you guys notice when the Amsterdam library was burning? One of the things they focused on in the fire was the name Suzanne Mayfair.
No, you could see it in the flames. You mean?
Yeah, it was one of the papers that.
Interesting. Well, at least look, I've said before, I don't think there's going to be really much crossover in these shows, but if they put little things like that in, I mean, that's cool. I like.
Well, yeah, I think that was a fun little.
They did just. Thomas Shelby says disappointed they debunked zombies in this one. They did debunk zombies in this show. There are no zombies in the Anne Rice universe, right?
Yeah, no.
So that's why.
Already figured that.
Wait, I'm trying to make it go away. Yeah.
So, all right.
Well,
ready for Lazarus?
If the second half is better than the first half, hopefully Guy will be a little bit less annoying. Maybe we can hope.
So I rant how much I hate Guy, and I do hate him. I love William Fichtner as Jasper.
Yes,
I really like him in this role. I really want to see more of him, and I don't. As much as I hate Guy, I don't hate the whole show. I'm going to keep watching it, right? I mean, I don't. It's not. It's better than Mayfair. It's not as good as Interview. It's in between, and it's fine. And I'm going to keep watching it. I just want someone to like smack Guy and wake him up.
That's fair.
All right.
Whoops. What did I do? I clicked the wrong thing.
I don't know what you did.
I clicked something wrong. I'm all good. I fixed it. Okay. Let's move on to.
All right, Lazarus. Let's go from one dumbass to a bigger dumbass.
I was just gonna say, let's do the show that Karen.
You guys clearly felt a lot different about some of the show.
I didn't see any. Hold on, I haven't said anything about Lazarus. That was all Jamie.
Karen.
It was all Karen.
Okay, because I was gonna say I was not. Look, he did some stupid things. I'll give you that, but I liked it. I mean, it isn't like the best show ever, but I enjoyed it. Well, I wasn't annoyed like you were. And sorry, again, I still cannot find a good source of this show for screen capture, so they're not real great, and there's not tons of them, but we'll get through it. So it starts off obviously with him seeing Sutton, which was kind of the big thing, leading him into this, and he's still trying to figure everything out. And we find out more about that night, I guess, is what a big part of this is. Now we're doing the 2 episodes, 3 and 4.
Yeah. Right.
Try to mostly stick to 3, but because I can't go back and forth with pictures. But yeah, we find out more about how she left the dance and made it home, and that's when she was killed. And this is when he's finding out kind of that she might have broken up with her boyfriend Billy, who is the one we had talked about last week. I had said, I think he's the one that was at the gravesite. I don't think they ever said who was at the grave, but he's the boyfriend that Sam talked about with Lazarus when we talked about it last week, that said that she was fighting with him. And we find out through the course of these episodes that he was probably fighting with him. The guy, well, he's a guy now, but the one that was blamed.
Seth?
Yeah, the one that he was originally arrested for it is Sam.
Oh, that's his name?
Oh, that's his name? All right.
Yeah, the one that I said.
I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, that's. So yeah, this leads him to go see. Leads Lazarus to go see. Whoops, I am clicking on the wrong thing. To go see
Is
Billy.
it weird that even his sisters call him by their own common last name?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little weird. It is a little weird. So he goes to see Billy, and Billy will not admit that she was breaking up with him. Because she apparently told her father that she was going to break up with him. You know, when I watched the scene of her telling her father she was going to break up with him, I think it's because you kept saying this is so horrible. You know what I thought it was going to end up, and God, I'm glad they didn't go there. But I thought it was going to end up that like she had a relationship with her father or something. You had me like thinking all kinds of weird shit was going to go down with the way you acted in the chat.
I apologize.
Don't go there.
I apologize for that, but I do think she's a little too sexy.
Yeah, I know. She's what, maybe supposed to be like 18. So because I kind of wondered that too, and I'm thinking, am I just too old now? That to me, I'm like, she should be dressed like I'm thinking. I think she was like 18 or something, so it wasn't too bad.
They were either 17 or 18.
Yeah, they were. They were. Yeah, 17 or 18.
All right, thanks for coming, Thomas.
I'm pretty sure somebody said something about being a senior.
Yeah.
So she wasn't. It wasn't too bad. It was funny, but
I get why. I do understand why Billy would have hid that information at the time, because your girlfriend breaks up with you and then winds up dead a couple hours later. You're obviously going to be a suspect. So you don't want anyone to know that she was going to break up with you, right?
Yes. And he's a teenager. I would hope that most adults would realize that might make you look more guilty later if you lie about it. But yeah, I totally get it. So he will not admit to Lazarus either that he lied. And Lazarus doesn't quite at this point. I mean, he knows that she said that, but he doesn't know for sure she did break up with him, just that she was intending to break up with him. We don't know quite yet that actually happened, at least not at this point in the episode. And then some of this, I'm not sure of what the order was because I just took kind of some random shots. But
well, you missed something. When he leaves Bill's drawing the 3-leg table.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. I forgot about that. That's definitely important. So he talks to Seth, and Seth gives him the test and says that his father did have gunshot residue under his nails, so he does not believe that Lazarus Sr. was murdered. And yeah, that's pretty much. Seth does not, we find out later, has not been believing what Lazarus told him. Like, he doesn't understand how he knows what he knows, but he doesn't really believe he's been seeing ghosts, and he's trying to tell him.
Who would believe that, right?
Yeah, Jenna I know you're right. Nobody believe that, but I kind of thought he thought maybe. Like, I thought he was
not nobody. Jenna believes him.
Yeah, well, yeah, Jenna.
And she's pissed off that the ghosts aren't coming to her.
Yeah. To be fair, though, I think you'd be more likely to believe a sister and brother than you would a friend.
But you're right, Jamie. In like last week's episodes, it seemed like Seth maybe was open to it, and now we learned that he was just playing along.
Yeah. So Lazarus is not too happy to find that out, and he's kind of losing. I don't want to say losing his ally. He's still helping him, but he thinks Lazarus is having a breakdown. We find out he did have a breakdown after Sutton died. They've alluded to it a couple times. And then this kid. I do not remember his name. Do you remember his name? I'm looking.
No, it's his ex-wife. Aiden.
Thank you. So Aiden keeps randomly showing up.
He's a stalker.
God knows. He keeps. Okay, I take that back. He didn't randomly show up here. Lazarus showed up to the bar.
Who's he stalking?
Well, he's very stalked. Come on, he's always lurking around.
He means he's stalking.
Yeah, but there's a reason for it.
But still, I mean, and we predicted from almost the first time this kid appeared on screen, but he's still like so suspicious. It's so obvious, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's suspicious, and I think it's obvious he's his kid. I don't know if he's suspicious for any reason other than that, but yeah. Lazarus comes to the bar to get a black light, why he couldn't go to Walmart and buy a black light. I don't know.
Why? Because she already had one, and we needed a reason to interact with these people again.
And because you're obsessed with your ex-wife.
Yeah, and then that's true. And so he goes back to the office, and he finds blood spatter all over this statue. And I kind of question, I thought the crime scene people clean that kind of stuff up. I kind of feel bad for him there. If your parent or whatever killed himself, you would think somebody would have cleaned it. That's just kind of awful. And
they did clean it.
They
not
don't
very well.
I mean, I think in general, you're responsible for hiring your own cleaning company to clean up your mess in your house. The police don't do that for you.
I guess they do
And I
sometimes.
guess
there are the cops themselves don't do that. There are companies that will come in.
Yeah, but the people who like cleaned up his body and stuff that the cops send or whatever, I don't know who sends them. I
they
assume
send the crime lab and take away the body, and that's it, right?
Right. And I assume
The point is, there's always they can miss stuff. There's always gonna be some kind of residue.
Yes.
True.
And there's a whole bunch of it that was almost kind of suspicious, the amount that was under the carpet, right?
Yeah, but that's
not considering what we saw in his
that's
section.
but this is from what his father did, supposed to be.
Wait.
Wait. Oh, that
that's on the statue. That's supposed to be from
that's the splatter. Yeah, that's the gray matter splatter.
Yes. If we're assuming that he really did do it himself. I mean, I think that part's kind of, I don't know that his father was murdered. I think that Lazarus thinks that, but I don't know that I believe he was murdered at this point.
But the ghost said he was murdered.
He did, but I don't know that. I think like a lot of that's unreliable narrator, because I still believe a lot of that's inside a lot, if not all of it, is inside.
I mean,
Lazarus.
AJ, you yourself said Harlan Coben doesn't do supernatural, and there's something else going on here.
Yeah, I know. I'm not shifting from that. I was just being.
There is information that Lazarus is getting from what he's seeing, that information he didn't have. There has to be a way that he's actually getting this information, because it isn't stuff that he would know. But like I said, I think he's getting it from the case files that are on the wall.
Is it information? Is it hallucination?
I think it's coming from that. But either way, I think his father is all in his head. So I think his father killed himself, and I think he just can't accept it. And that's what he's seeing. That's my opinion.
Well, I think the most important thing about this scene here is, what was it? Carolyn? Was that her name?
Who? The ex-wife?
No, the patient that bashed Neil in the head.
Oh, her name might be Carolyn. Yeah.
Okay, I think it's Carolyn.
No, or Charlotte or something like that.
No, it's not Carolyn. But now that you said that, I'm going to be
whatever. The girl who killed Neil.
Okay, yeah, the girl that killed Neil. That clearly happened because the evidence is all over the floor.
Cassandra, that was her name, Cassandra.
I knew it started with C.
I mean, that blood
here's
somebody else's blood, right?
Okay, I'm getting So my point here is, the first two episodes I was like, I'm not sticking to this, but I could totally see it if, first impression, I think Lazarus is actually the killer of everybody, because they keep talking about how everything's connected.
Yep.
And I think I went a little too deep into the everything's connected part. I think there is a connecting thread, but I almost feel like the killer there might be multiple killers, I feel like now.
I don't know, but this does show, and I had at one point, I remember, theorized this and then said, nah, that didn't make sense, that his father really saw it and covered it up. I do think that's what they're saying here.
Yes.
I mean, this is his father.
I agree.
That Cassandra killed Neil in Lazarus Sr.'s office, and that he helped her cover up the whole thing.
Yes, that's where I was going with this. I think that he.
Yeah, I think he now needs to be like.
He helped her move the body.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine why, except the longer this show goes on, the more I'm like, what? This guy's a psychiatrist? What the fuck? Like every single person who walks into the office is offered a glass of whiskey. They drink.
That's a problem.
He gives bad advice. He gives everybody drinks. He drinks himself. He gives bad advice. This guy is not the respected psychiatrist I think that everybody thought he was, right?
Yeah.
And then and then we have Harry, this new kid Harry.
Yeah.
Which I'm confused on why anyone would want to kill him, assuming that the priest was telling the truth on his death jump.
Yes.
Except for the part where so far Laz, he sees dead people, but he only sees murdered people. He sees people who've been murdered. He doesn't see randomly dead people, right? So
possibly, yes.
Well, as far everybody except for everybody he's seen has been murdered, definitely, except for Harry. Everybody else we know was definitely murdered.
You mean except for his father, not except for Harry?
Well, no, we know Harry was murdered.
Yeah, Harry said was murdered. He was
Well,
murdered
Harry is murdered, but we didn't know if he only sees murdered people.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Except for his father. If his father really committed suicide,
I
then
think he needs to have. I mean, I know that blood's long gone, and that I don't know that he would actually see, unless his father didn't do a good job cleaning it up. But I think he needs to send Seth into that office to say, "Hey, could the murder have happened here?" But he probably won't.
I think you can't.
Why would he do that?
There's no way you could do a job cleaning it up.
20 years later,
that his father would have the ability to clean it clinically, but I don't know if it would be there 20 years later. You're right.
I know. I was going to say, but it is 20
It
years
absolutely
later.
would.
I want him to tell Seth, though.
It's not going to deteriorate over time.
I have a question for you guys, and I'm only saying it now because I know I'm going to forget to say it later. But is there any possibility, and I don't know that it makes sense yet, but when they showed him on the video, it made me wonder. They're saying how everybody was like, he says to Lazarus says to that female cop that I don't know her name, says something like that he thinks it was Billy because he had a connection to everybody. And she says, I could say the same thing about you. I just wondered, is there a possibility that there could be some reason Seth did it because Seth liked his sister? Because he was on the video too. He was the one taking the video that they were watching. And I just wondered, like,
okay, hold on.
That makes sense.
What video are you talking about?
Later on, whenever he's watching videos with his sister. There's a video.
So you're talking about the end of. You're talking about the end of episode.
I'm only mentioning it now because I know I'll forget to mention it later. I'm just putting it out there right now. Like I was thinking about the fact that he liked Jenna, and like maybe he was pissed because she kissed Billy, and like, is it possible that somehow, I don't know. I just wanted to put that out there now before I forget. Well, we can talk about it more later. But anyway, so this guy, Harry, so he was molested by the priest who killed him. And
no.
Eventually.
No. The priest is accused of killing him, but maintains he did not.
You're right.
He admits to the pedophilia, but he refuses. He says, I might have done some terrible things to those boys, but I did not kill him.
Right. What I mean is he got arrested for killing him. The police thought he killed him because that's what it says in the file. I'm saying this is what it said in the file. Yeah. But yes, I question though, like at first I thought, well, maybe his father, like I was thinking that they were saying the priest was killed. But I'm like, well, yeah, but why would he kill Harry? That didn't make sense. I thought maybe he, killed him for what he did to Harry.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like what reason, I don't understand a motive to killing Harry.
I also think that this is written very strangely. Because sorry, go ahead.
We only saw Harry in Laz, Laz like hallucinates this session with his father, right? Like Harry comes in and Harry says like, if he finds out it was me. He never says if father so-and-so finds out. He always says, what do I do if he finds out it was me? He can't find out. I'm afraid of him. There's another person that Harry was afraid of, I think, aside from the priest.
And that's what I wanted to talk to you about.
We only get to, like, the problem here is that Laz only sees one conversation outside of his father's entire relationship with these patients, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now I think Laz is jumping to conclusions, and it's causing him to act like a dumbass all the time.
Very true. Now, these are in the case notes. So these are what his father typed up, right? This is not from the police. Okay. I wanted to read this to you because I don't know if it's just whoever the prop department is, they made a mistake or what, but it's very strange because it says in here, tragically, Harry Nash was murdered on the 11th of November, blah, 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 by Father Franklin Barnway. Okay. But it says Harry's, the circumstance surrounding Harry's murder. Harry was sexually abused by Barnway from the ages of 8 to 15, while Father Franklin was involved in teaching Harry's youth football club. Why does it say if it was Father Franklin Barnway, why would you grammatically say Barnway did this while Franklin did this? It makes it sound like it's two different people.
No, I think as a writer, sometimes I might say AJ did this, and other times I might say Mr. Grillo did that.
But it's all in the same sentence. It to me sounds really bizarre saying Harry was sexually abused by Barnway from 8 to 15 while Father Franklin was involved in teaching Harry's youth football club. I don't know. To me, saying while means it's like
I would not.
I don't know. To me, it sounds like two different.
Not read that into the story at all.
I said it might just be the way the prop department made it. I'm not saying that it means anything. I'm just saying, to me, it stands out as being odd. It seems like it's written weird.
I think the idea that a doctor was a bad writer is not that shocking.
Okay, that's fair. I'll give you that. But this is basically saying either way that the priest abused him and then killed him. That's what the case note says.
So this is not really adding anything because the priest, Barnway, had admitted to abusing Harry.
Yes, but he did not admit to killing him. Right.
Yeah.
Now, this is where they get in a fight, and Lazarus is basically saying, you had Harry go to the cops because he said that he was brave. Harry went to the cops to talk about being abused. We know that. And he's saying that you let him go to the cops knowing the guy could come after him and you didn't protect him. And this whole conversation was a little strange to me because he's kind of like, you take risks. Like, why would you? I don't understand why you would take that risk. That to me made absolutely no sense what he said. Did you understand why he did that? Why he didn't, make sure he was safe?
Well, I have a couple thoughts about
Other
this.
than he's a bad doctor. I mean, there's that.
Because he's a pompous ass.
That too.
Yes, he is a pompous ass. He's very self-important. He thinks he knows the best. I wouldn't say he had Harry go to the cops. He encouraged Harry to go to the cops, right? I think going to the cops is the thing a person should do when they are being abused by, right? I don't know the laws around there are people who are considered mandatory reporters. And like if a teacher thinks you're being abused, they have to tell the police. I don't know about the confidentiality in a therapy session with a psychiatrist.
I agree. It's like a priest. I don't think they're required.
I don't know if it's like a priest, and I don't know if a psychiatrist. Wait, let me finish. A psychiatrist who knows a crime is being committed, if they have to.
I don't know. I'm saying I don't think, but maybe they do. But I took this differently. I didn't take this that he was saying.
A lawyer does. A lawyer does, but it's different. Like,
yeah, I don't know, but that's not what I meant though. I took this differently, and now I'm wondering if I took it wrong. I didn't take it that Harry was saying you should have reported it. I took it that Harry was saying it was dangerous for him to report it because it put him in danger. Why did you tell him to report it? Why did you suggest that?
He did it. Like he.
Yes, I know. And I'm not understanding that whole dynamic of what he did put him in danger and why it was his responsibility to, like, what was he supposed to do? Like, he told him he should report it, but what would he have done? Hide him at his house? Like, I don't understand what it is that Lazarus is saying he did or should have done, is what I'm saying. Like, I don't quite understand.
Okay. I get that.
I'm confused by this scene.
No, I get what you're saying. To answer your question, Karen,
because his father says to him, sometimes you have to take risks. That's what made me confused when he said that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. A psychiatrist has the obligation to go to the police if he feels the patient is a danger to themselves or another person. So if I go into a psychiatrist session and I'm like, I can't take this shit anymore. I'm so sick and tired of so-and-so. When I leave here today, I'm going to go buy a gun and I'm going to shoot them. The psychiatrist has to call the police and say, hey, my patient is threatening to kill somebody.
Yes. Also, a lawyer has to do that. Like if Jamie says, Karen, I killed
That depends on the lawyer.
No. If Karen, I killed someone, I can't tell. If Jamie says, Karen, I'm going to kill someone, I'm required to tell, right?
Right. But someone doing something that he told about is not quite the same thing. So he wasn't required to.
I don't know. In the United States, a doctor is a mandatory reporter. Yes. I don't know about England. And a psychiatrist is a doctor.
Yes, but that was something that was perpetrated on him, not something he was going to do.
Yes, but it's an ongoing crime. He knows that a child is being abused, and he doesn't tell the authorities.
I guess, yeah. I still think he should.
It's not about the murder. It's about the ongoing child abuse that he told Harry to go tell, which is the right thing to do. Yes, but I think young Lazarus is like, Dad, why didn't you do more?
Okay.
I think the reason he didn't, old man Lazarus didn't say anything because he was giving Harry a chance to do it himself.
Right. Yeah.
To be brave.
As a healing thing. I think if Harry didn't, then I think maybe he would have.
Yeah.
But Harry did, so it's
Right. But back to my question, why did he say that you had to take risk? Is that what he meant? Like, I didn't tell because I was taking a risk to let him do it? Is that what that was meaning, I guess?
I
don't know. That line.
I think there's a huge thing going on here with Laz's daddy issues. And I don't think anything Elder Lazarus could do would be right. I think young Laz is very anti-old Laz.
Well, you know what? Let me put it this way. I think this is all in Laz's head.
Yes.
So he's talking to himself.
Yes.
Yeah, but
he's projecting his thoughts of what his father.
So he's kind of like, why didn't my father do something about it? Type of thing.
Or it could even be like more about like, why didn't I, like, we're gonna find out more about what he knows and knew about his sister's murder, and is this all an exercise in like, why didn't I do more? I do think there's a very big moment in these episodes where he's having a fight with his father, and his father's like, wait a minute, like, why'd you even become a psychiatrist? Like, you had no interest until your sister died. And Laz says, because I wanted to be better than you. Mm-hmm. And like this whole bit about like, Dad, why didn't you do more? Like, I do feel like young Lazarus has this thing about like being better than his father. In and not in like a healthy, like ambitious way, but in like a dysfunctional way, right?
Yeah. I think he thinks it's a healthy way, but yeah.
I mean, I kind of wonder, go ahead, AJ, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I was just going to say, I wanted to shift a little bit because more about the priest, because there's so much going on with Lazarus being an unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
Because he goes to the other psychiatrist friend of his who was the priest psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And starts questioning him about him. And he's like, tell me more about him. And he's like, well, you met him. And he's like, I did. And he's like, you covered 2 of my sessions. Laz has no memory of ever talking to this priest, who he apparently talked to twice.
Yeah, that was a question. That's something, I don't know what's going on there. We'll have to.
I started thinking that maybe I would hate this, because I generally hate this storyline, but like a dual personality kind of thing, where he has another, maybe not like the cliched dual personality storyline, but where he disassociates and maybe is like another persona when he conducted these interviews and did this thing, which would make me think, could Laz be the killer? Although there's a part of me thinks that Elder Lazarus is the killer and young Laz knew about it and he's been suppressing it, and that's why he has
that
these.
makes more sense.
Yeah. After seeing the blood stain on the floor, I started thinking the same thing, that the father is involved in these murders. I mean, we know that she killed Neil, but he helped hide the body, and I'm wondering if maybe she was threatening to come clean, and he was like, well, no, you're not going to ruin my life, and kills her. I don't think we know enough about Harry yet for a motive, but
no.
And maybe these like psychiatric sessions where Laz meets with the ghosts of the dead people and reenacts his father's sessions, maybe that's his way of processing his own memories of what his father has done. Maybe he was involved in it somehow. Yeah.
So anyway, he does follow the paper to this is where he goes to the prison to find out about the guy that supposedly killed Harry, and this is where he unalives himself and says that he didn't kill Harry. Can we not
say on YouTube that a person?
I don't know. I've heard it can cause issues.
Unalive. As a writer, I object to the fake word. Unalive is
I do too, but I keep saying it because it's
not a word.
I mean, it's not funny.
What word?
Unalive. He unalived himself.
I didn't even hear you say that, Jamie. Come on.
Well, they use it a lot online.
Okay. He committed suicide. He jumped off.
Really? Are we at this point in the world where
we are?
Well, you know what? Fuck that noise. Killed himself.
You know what, AJ? There are filters that will screen out our show.
I don't think they do on a video, but they definitely do on text. You cannot put it in Facebook; it'll block it. I know that.
Do we have to be careful about do we have to be careful about unhoused versus homeless?
When we saw it, he jumped off the roof.
Yes. He jumped off the roof and he went splat. There we go. Okay, so you're right. He's lost time or doesn't remember talking to this guy. That's a problem. I mean, not a problem like with the story. I mean, like, I want to know why problem. So we learn that. And then the other part that happens after he talks to his sister.
She's so pissed. What do you mean? Why aren't they talking to me?
Why have the ghosts talk to me? Why doesn't our dead sister talk to me?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she's like
a tarot card reader. Why don't they talk to me? Because you have those bangs. That's why.
So she had over his secretary,
Margot,
his father's secretary.
Margot, that's her fucking name. I want to call her Maureen.
Yeah. His assistant, his executive assistant, Margot.
Executive assistant. She had over because they right now can't stop. I don't know if she's trying to stop the office from being sold, but trying to access it, and they can't access it because it's in his name and blah, blah, blah. And so
because she knows the password to the safe in the computer. That's why.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
As his assistant, she has all the administrative passwords that they need to dissolve his business and like move out of the office. It was a pretty like straightforward reason. Also, she worked for their father her entire life, and she's like a really close family friend. And Psycho Lazarus comes in acting like a jackass.
Very true.
And Billy's mommy.
And chases her. Yeah, and he's Billy's mother. And there's also a scene where his kid comes over, steals his toothbrush.
That's where this is where he gets the DNA. It's so dumb.
He fell in a rose bush, supposedly. That's why he's been cut up.
Kind of smart. A toothbrush, great spot for DNA.
Yeah, that was smart. He did that, but I think the kids beat him up. I don't think he actually tripped and fell.
I think the fact that the kid is a minor and was able to get a DNA test is a little questionable.
Ludicrous, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe he submitted it under his father's name. Who knows?
Also ludicrous. Like I would think companies would make you show ID to get a DNA test, but I don't know. I've never had one. It's so. What bothers me about it is it just seems to be a waste of my time with that storyline. Like, who cares, right? So he's got some like what? Like he sees go.
I don't know how yet, but I'm sure it's going to pay off.
Be connected. I do. Yeah. So anyway,
have we ever seen that kid talk to his mother? Could that kid be dead? And has anybody ever talked to that kid besides Lazarus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. When he was in the bar with him, Lazarus and his mother.
Right. When he comes on, I tend to tune out because he's.
Yeah, and remember whenever he brought him back to his mother. To the house.
He ran away. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
So, you would think if you had a kid that you never told him who his father was, and he starts like snooping around, you'd have a little more.
What do you mean? She never told him who? He's supposed to think that his father is his father.
Yes, and so he starts snooping around Laz. Wouldn't you be like, "Oh shit, he's snooping around his real dad. I better like put the clamp down on this kid."
Maybe. Depends how smart she is.
I'm sorry, but this exact thing is happening on General Hospital right now where Rocco keeps going to like Britt and his mother Lulu is like, don't talk to that psych. Like, yes. Like
maybe she doesn't know.
It's possible, and Laz does give that at the end of the second episode. He's like, maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she really thinks that guy's your dad. Right?
Yeah, it's possible. All right. So then I was thinking at this scene, it would be so funny if it turned out she was real. I was happy that she was because I thought it was funny. So this one woman comes in, thinks she has an appointment with his father, not realizing he's dead. And we find out after that this actually happened. She's not really dead like he assumes.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
He runs off to check her file of her murder and then finds out it's not there. Although he never does find out her last name. So I'm not sure how he tried to look it up, but that's irrelevant. But yeah, this is Laura, I think her name was.
I think her name was Laura.
Yeah, and they kind of flirt a little bit. Anyway, she needs a therapist. She is.
Well, she comes in and she's like, "You are not what I was expecting."
Yeah. So yeah, she's actually seeing him and interacting with him, and she's looking for a psychiatrist because her other one is retiring. He's a psychiatrist, or she's a psychiatrist herself. She's getting ready to leave, and instead he offers her the alcohol, and they kind of sit down just to chat. And
that's right, but if my shrink offered me a cocktail, I'd be like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I think you need a new shrink at that point. There's something a little up there. So then whenever he goes to look for her file that doesn't exist because she's not dead.
Thing.
Yeah, this is where he finds
it doesn't exist because it was her first appointment and she had never had. Why would there be a file for a person
No, but he was looking for the file to see how she died. It did. Well, I meant it didn't exist because she didn't die. But you're right. It didn't exist because she never had the appointment. You're right.
Yeah.
But anyway, when he goes up to look for her file, that's when he finds the book with the three-legged table on it that he knows Billy drew, and there are pictures of drawings of his sister in there. I'm wondering if that's not what we think it is, and like we're looking at it the wrong angle or something. I'm trying to like look. I know what they said it was. I know they said it.
We learn later.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I wonder if that's not true for whatever reason. I'm kind of like.
I think it's true.
But anyway, he knows that Billy was drawing his sister. I don't really think this book proves a lot of anything. We find out later why it's there, but at this point, it doesn't really.
Well, it's very suspicious because of the father's suicide note.
Yes. But all we find out is, and I don't remember what he called it, but what that thing means, his Sutton was interested in the drawing, liked it. That's why he drew it on the book. But basically, he admits that Sutton was going to break up with him. He gave her his sketchbook to show he had been drawing her, hoping it would stop her from wanting to break up with him. Is basically that whole conversation. But he doesn't know why his father wrote it on his suicide note or drew it on his suicide note.
Yes.
And there's also the part earlier, I'm just remembering now that we skipped, is he did accuse Margot of taking the first or whatever page of the note, of taking part of it. So yeah, after that, we find out that he found out Sutton was going to break up with him. So we find out later he drugged her, but he kissed the older sister.
What's her name?
Jenna.
Jenna.
He kissed Jenna. And she flipped out and she left. That's why she left the dance. So he knows that Jenna lied to him because Jenna's also found, I don't want to say she's the one that found the body because he found the body first, but when he left the room, she came in and found her as well. Because there's that conversation she has with Seth where you kind of question, was he really the one that found the body? But that's because she saw her sister's body as well. And so he knows that Jenna's been lying to him. And that pisses him off really bad, but it does show that she.
Oh, what Jenna lied about. Jenna doesn't remember a lot of it.
No, right? That's true. She said she remembers kissing Billy, but that's all she remembers.
Well, she remembers him giving her a drink, and she remembers waking up in her room to Laz screaming and going in the bathroom and seeing the blood. But what she's been lying about all these years was that everyone thought she was out of the house when the murder happened. Turns out she was in the house when the murder happened, which makes her technically a suspect, right?
Yeah. And it was also the fact, I think the reason Lazarus got so pissed was because everybody, I'm saying everybody, his father and himself, was blaming him because he let his sister leave the party when he was told to watch her, which we find out later it's because he wanted to have sex. But he let her leave, and here this whole time it was actually, he thinks at this point, before he finds out she was drugged, that it was his sister's fault she left the party because she kissed her boyfriend.
I think this whole part is very dumb. And I think it's dumb because it's Laz's subconscious and his guilt complex. I don't really like when he has these moments where he's talking to his father and the father's like, why did you let her leave the party? You never should have. I told you to watch her.
Well, I think some of those were memories. I think his father did scream at him and blame him.
Yeah, I think that. I think happened.
Subconscious berating him. I think to expect any teen. Okay, I could see if I have two teenagers and I'm like, make sure you walk your sister home make sure you walk your sister home for the party. It's not safe, right? But you didn't say, make sure you walk your sister home from the party because I'm afraid somebody might murder her. And like,
it was not his fault. He was a teenager, whether he was there having sex or not and didn't walk her home. It's clearly not his fault.
Sex and he never had sex, but he was doing whatever he was doing.
It didn't matter.
First of all, his sister got mad and ran out the door. Like, did he even see her? His sister ran out the door. She wasn't like, oh, Laz, I'm ready to leave now. And he says, no,
right. I'm not going to take her. Right. Exactly.
Like, the whole, I think that it's Lazarus's survivor's guilt and his guilty complex, like making his father yell at him in that discussion.
I think it is that, but I also think he really yelled at him for it. But I think that he's just mad at his sister because this whole time he completely blamed himself for being the one that let her leave when it was really, he thinks at this point, his sister that caused her to leave, which really, it was neither of their fault.
Billy said in the beginning of this whole thing, he says, I tried to hurt her and I made it with another girl and I was trying to hurt her.
He just hurt his sister, didn't tell him because he felt at fault and it was partially her fault, he thinks. And he felt hurt because his sister didn't tell him that all these years, decades later.
I think what didn't feel hurt that Jenna didn't tell him about the kiss. Jenna made him think she was not in the building when her sister was killed.
Yeah, but I think it's because he was blaming himself, and now he feels like,
if you were in the building when she was killed, then you're a suspect.
Right. All right, so that's the end of that episode. Is her showing?
Can I give my opinion?
Yes, sorry. I'm not trying to move through it. We're taking.
I opened my mouth about 5 times, and
sorry. It's hard to tell in the little video.
He just yelled.
I think I forgot what I was going to say now. Jesus Christ. I think his father absolutely blamed him. I know everything. See, it's difficult because everything we've seen of his father has been in ghostly form, but from the way people have talked about him and everything, I think his father absolutely believed. He blamed himself, obviously, but I could totally see his father yelling at him. There's a reason he sees his father the way he does, and I think his father, especially you can tell in the flashbacks that the father doted on Sutton.
Oh yeah,
she was the favorite. She was the absolute favorite. And I think it's very apparent. I could totally see the father yelling at him and blaming him. So I don't think that part. I think he does. Yes. Does Laz blame himself? Yes. But I also think part of the reason Laz blames himself is because his father blamed him. I think I think that is absolutely. It's hard to say though because this whole thing is unreliable. I don't think anything we've seen on the show is reliable.
Well, yeah, because there's a part where it's. I'm not saying I believe it, but it is still possible that the father could have killed her also, right? Like the father might have killed all these people, and the father could be a serial killer, maybe not, and everyone in that house is still had the means, if not the motive, to kill her, right?
Mm-hmm. Where, just out of curiosity, did they ever say what happened to the mother? I'm trying to remember.
They never said anything about the mother.
Okay, I just wondered. All right, well, let's move on to the second episode. We're kind of taking. That's why I was trying to,
folks. Moving on.
Wrong thing. Hold on. Wrong thing. That's why I was trying to move it along a bit. Hold on. Okay, there we go. All right, so this episode, let me close out this picture. Hold on one sec. Move this one up. Okay, so his sister is upset that he won't forgive her, is what a lot of this is about, which I get he's upset, but he needs time. But I don't know that he shouldn't forgive her. She's still his sister. She was a teenager too.
Not forgive her. It's a matter of like 2 days before they finally come around. Like he won't forgive her. He's mad at her for it's like 5 minutes after he found out. It's not like it's been 10 years and he won't forgive her, right?
Right. But I think he's hurt and he needs time to get over it. But I think that I kind of assumed he eventually would forgive her because he should, or move on, not necessarily forgive her, but understand it, I guess maybe is a better thing. But he tells her that he knows what happened and that she lied to him. And she's really upset that he's pissed off. That's what that whole scene was. And this is where she admits she was home and that she saw the body. And he basically is just like, I'm not talking to you, bye, and walks out. Then he goes to talk to Seth at the bar again. And I don't remember exactly what this conversation was about. I know at one point he's telling him that he should not return his boss's messages because he needs to make up a reason that he knew about the body because he can't tell her that he was seeing ghosts. But I think that was earlier. So yeah, I don't remember what that conversation was or if it mattered here.
I don't think it matters.
But it gets interrupted because he sees that woman again and he's like, you see her. And he realizes, oh no, she's alive. So yeah, he flirts with her at the bar. They talk. He's going to ask her out. He doesn't. But it's clear that they like each other as well as, he's talking to her about his problems.
It's totally unprofessional. I'm sorry, but you can't
It's very unprofessional.
You can't have they're both psychiatrists. They both should have been like, hey, and keep. I once saw my psychiatrist in a bar and she pretended she never saw me, looked right through me. And that is the right.
To be fair, yes, it was very, very weird. He went up to talk to her, but the whole reason he did, it wasn't to be like, hey, I know you're my patient. It was to be like, hey, I'm sorry, I lied to you. I mean, he was apologizing, but yes, he shouldn't have done it in the bar. He should have went to see her later. But he's like, hey, I'm sorry I pretended I was my father when you came, which is really like, I didn't realize you could see me and you were real, but he didn't want to say that. So yeah, he just says that he's been, that other patients have come to him since his father died, thinking that he was like not knowing about it. And that's his excuse. And it was a really bad excuse, but you know, he had to come up with something. So that's what that scene's about. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with them dating as long as neither of them are actually going to see each other as a psychiatrist. That's a problem.
And yet that's not where it goes by the end of it.
Yeah. All right. So then he wakes up in the office and this is where he sees Margot. And I did not get, like, it didn't occur to me, I guess, until later when he said to Seth, when Seth said, how did you know she was dead? He said, because I saw her ghost. I just assumed he saw her and she was alive and not everybody he was seeing was dead. It didn't click till way later when he said,
I knew because she looks so much younger. She looks so much younger.
I mean, I knew that she was younger, but I mean, it didn't occur to me that was why he thought she was dead, because he saw her ghost. I assumed that he just thought that he was seeing something his father saw and that she wasn't actually dead. Like, I didn't connect.
Everybody he has seen is dead.
I know. I don't know why I didn't connect the dots.
He only sees dead patients that dead people that his father talked to.
Right, but he saw that other woman and she wasn't dead. So, that's true because
she was real.
I know, but this was memory. No, you're right. I'm saying I should have connected. I was just saying I didn't for whatever reason. But yeah, he's seeing Margot from a long time ago, and she basically says that her son Billy, that he was hanging around the office being suspicious. She thought that he was caught, but he actually wasn't, and that he needs to go somewhere because he shouldn't. Yeah, she's worried about him, and she's also worried about the fact that him and Sutton are going to the dance, and because he's not.
Well, she says things like Billy's been very dark lately. He's been very
she's worried about him.
She's implying like he's got some mental illness, is what she's saying, right?
Yes. And I thought, and I think you were supposed to think from what she said, that he was hanging around watching the patients, but it was actually, we find out that's not the case. But yeah, she was saying he needs help. I'm sorry he did this and I didn't stop him, but I need you to help me help him. It's kind of where that conversation goes. And now, of course, Lazarus immediately blames Billy again, and he thinks she's dead. So he goes over to her house. Now, this is where I was like, yes, he's a dumbass. You think the woman might be dead, so you break into your house, into her house, put your DNA all over everything. Like, we've had this conversation earlier. I'm aware. You put your DNA all over everything. Not only that, you pick up a pair of scissors, and I'm thinking he's totally going to find her body covered with blood, and somehow he's going to drop the scissors in the blood. I'm like, something really stupid's going to happen. But it doesn't.
I agree. I thought.
As soon as he touched that scissors, I was like, DNA.
Like, no, that's the murder weapon.
Fingerprints. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he breaks in the house. He's calling for it. Now, he did tell the cop, she's dead. So he
told Seth as his friend, not as a cop.
Right. But he did say even to that other cop, like, that he was worried about her. So I guess he could use the excuse, I broke in because I was worried something was wrong.
Yeah, but Brown.
Oh, to Allison, is that her name? I think, right?
I don't know. But the worst part.
My thing is, there are other ways to break into somebody's house without breaking the window in the front of the house.
I know, right? That was
like, at least try and jimmy the door or something first.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think he was trying in case she was maybe in the middle of dying. I don't know. He was scared.
No, but she can't be in the middle of dying. She had to be already dead.
I know. So the urgency doesn't make a lot of sense. I agree.
He's dumb because he's stupid, right? Yeah.
And then he finds out his kid has broken into fall. I love this conversation, though. He's like, I saw you broke it. So you thought you'd break in with me? Like, he's a teenager. What do you expect?
No, this is why he's dumb, because he inherited Laz's lack of intelligence. He's actually even dumber than his father, right?
Like, yeah, like it's bad enough when one person's an idiot and breaks in, but then you follow them right behind him. This is where I thought you need to tell Seth and your boss that you broke in there because you were worried about her, because now if you don't, they're going to not only find your DNA, but they're going to find the kid's DNA. And I'm thinking this is going from bad to worse. So yes.
He might not have touched anything.
He might not have, but it's very hard not to leave DNA. I mean, a hair could have fallen out of his head. It could be anything. He probably touched the wall or the doorknob. He would have at least touched the doorknob.
Yeah, I mean, it's not clear the cops are going to comb the entire place for.
Maybe.
But to be fair, in the previous show, Talamasca, they find a hair on Archie's body, right? Which is clearly Guy's hair. Yeah. It's TV land. I mean, having served on because you know what, I'm always on jury duty and I always get called, and I've sat on a murder trial and they don't really have all this DNA evidence all the time, and right, they only constantly have DNA on TV, but whatever. It's possible the kid didn't leave any DNA behind, but Laz totally touched everything and left his fingerprints everywhere.
Yeah, although he probably has been in her house before, but you know there'd be proof that he broke in, which isn't good.
Yeah, AJ, you were going to say something.
I was going to say, yeah, and DNA evidence doesn't come back within 5 hours or in the same episode.
More like 5 weeks or 5 months, right?
Yeah. 5 months.
Yeah.
All right. So
I really, in that scene, I was like, Laz is the biggest. That's what I texted. And I was like, Laz is a giant dumbass. I texted you guys or whatever, right?
Yeah. When I saw him do that, I texted you back, unless you mean this, because I thought you meant. I watched episode 3, and I'm like, he didn't do anything. And then I watched it, I'm like, oh, yeah, that was dumb. That part was dumb. I agree. All right. So he calls Seth, distraught, like, oh my God, Billy's mother or whatever her name is, Margot's dead. You got to find her. You know, he's making things worse by what he's doing, basically.
Well, and he jumps to conclusions so fucking quickly.
He does.
Like now Sam was the killer. Now Billy's the killer. Now,
yeah. And the thing is he clearly doesn't get it, because Seth has to explain it to him. Like, he left that message. Like, if he had told him on the phone, I think she's dead, it would have been one thing. But to leave that message was like not good. You know, that was just bad all the way around.
Seth, call me. It's important. 911. Click.
That would have been the idea. So since she catches him there, and she's like, I've been trying to talk to you. Now you're going to talk to me. Yeah. Alice, whatever. So now this is not yet where she
is a family friend who dated Laz's father for a while, right?
Yeah, which was strange as it is.
Which means she should immediately recuse herself from this questioning, but whatever.
She should.
Maybe not.
When he tells her he thinks his father was murdered, he wouldn't have killed himself. He says, I think Billy did it. I think he does say here, I think that something happened to Margot. I think he says that here. But she's kind of like, you know, how do you know these things? What's going on? And this is where he says, Billy's connected to everybody. And she says, I could say the same thing about you. Which, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
All right. So then Seth is like, what the hell is wrong with you? Don't do this. You know, you're putting me in a bad spot, because if she does end up dead, I can't ignore that message that you left me. So you better hope she's alive.
I really enjoyed the scene where Seth lays it out for Lazarus, all the reasons why he looks so guilty. And Laz is and Laz is like, oh, I never thought of that. Oh my, right?
He's like, you really don't get it, do you? Is basically what he says. So yeah. So he's like, stay away from these people. Is basically what he tells them.
Seth should definitely be fired.
Yes, Seth should be fired. So he goes back to the office. He sees his father. They argue some more. I don't remember what the conversation was about. I think it was about Sutton, and he was blaming him for
big shouty fight where he's like,
yeah, they're blaming each other basically. So yeah. So then, okay. So Seth, okay, so they believe him when he says that the mother's been, they find out the mother is missing. Like, they, I guess, put out
they find that the last time she was seen on CCTV was 48 hours ago, and they organize a search.
Yes, and the doggy's okay, which is what Jamie cared about. The doggy's okay. So there's Billy. He's joined the search. Now, Seth tells, Lazarus, don't come. But of course, Lazarus completely ignores him and comes anyway. Although, I got to be honest, I kind of feel like him not coming would have maybe made him look guilty.
I felt the same way. I feel like that looks worse.
Yeah, because you're supposed to be like, know this woman and care about this woman, and you're so worried that she's dead, and then you don't even join the hunt. It didn't make a lot of sense.
Okay, but there's like 50 people looking for her. You could go down there or not, or you could get a. I mean,
it is, but I still think it makes him look more guilty.
It goes the worst possible way that he finds the body, probably because he put it there in the first place.
But no, he found the body because he fell down a hill.
Yes, but if I'm a cop, do I believe that? And I'm like, oh, guess what? You found two bodies.
Well, yes, you believe it because there's witnesses.
There's witnesses. Yeah, there's witnesses. No, that doesn't mean he didn't put the body there before that, but he did find it by falling down the hill.
He should not have gone to the search.
No, he probably shouldn't have. I'm just saying I think he looked guilty or not. Okay, so he finds the dog. He yells out. He hears people talking. I thought he was hallucinating. But it turns out, because Billy thinks Sam did it, because there was a thing where that female cop, said on the surveillance.
You mean Allison or
Allison, whatever her name is.
Allison Brown.
We saw on the surveillance on the CCTV that Sam it looked like Sam could have been, wasn't really, but was behind her and could have been following Margot. And she said, let's put this out to the news and that. And so since she did that, Billy assumed that Sam killed her or took her. So he took his thuggy friends and tried to beat up Sam. But Lazarus gets in the way and stops him. He beats on him as well, knocks him down the hill, and this is where he sees Billy's mother. And Billy is arrested for attacking them. Now, as he should be. There's just a lot of things. Now, the one thing I did want to ask you guys about, because I was a little confused about, is so we have later. Okay, well, I'll wait till we get to that scene, because otherwise I'm just going too far ahead.
It's kind of a sad part of the show, the way Sam's entire life has been ruined from that accusation. And look, Sam, okay, he was a peeping Tom. He was like looking in girls' windows.
He was a teenager though too. Not that that makes it okay. I'm just saying
it doesn't make it not illegal or creepy.
Yeah, it doesn't make it not okay.
Or an unstable person to do that. I mean, most teenagers don't do that.
Right.
But he has not been credibly accused of a crime, right? And he was like a peeping Tom, which is creepy, but his entire life has been like ruined. And it's a little surprising to me that we see scenes where the local this is a murder that happened 30 years ago. And we see the local teenagers like, pedo, you're a pedophile, blah, 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 and they're mean to him. It surprises me a little bit that it must be a small town. It surprises me a little bit that 30 years later, the local teenagers. It also surprises me that if you think someone's a sex offender, that you would like go up to them and be like taunting them.
As a teenager, you're right. But yeah,
but it's a little. I'm not sure what to make of that storyline, because there's part of me that feels like it's sad that his life is ruined. Part of me feels like this is a big red herring, and then they throw it up at us before the end of this episode, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys think. Do you guys think at this point that...
Yeah, I felt bad for him too. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it was okay he did what he did. I'm just saying that like there's a lot of people that do stupid ass things when they're teenagers and grow up to be good people. Like who knows, what he would have been after that. They're still accusing him of him 20 years later. That's not cool.
Well, he did it, but he didn't murder someone.
No, he did. Accusing him of murder 20 years later.
Yeah.
And he probably should have left the town. But yeah, so he saved him and he does thank Lazarus for it. And then we have Aiden who gets in the car and he's like, guess what? You're my dad. And they have a conversation about that. And he tells him that, if he had known, he wouldn't have left, and that maybe his mother doesn't know, blah, blah, blah. That's not really that important to the story.
Can I ask you guys what you think about this storyline?
I think it's going to end up important in some way. But right now,
I agree.
I think
I definitely think it's going to end up important. I don't know how or why yet, but
it feels so far like a gigantic waste of my time, right?
It's leading us somewhere. I just don't know where.
Yeah, unless like Lazarus found out that he had a kid and he had a breakdown. Well, no, because she wouldn't have had the kid yet at that point. So I don't know.
No, he never knew until this moment.
Yeah, well, he could have known, and he didn't realize he knew. But that still was like 20 years ago. That wouldn't make sense. So actually, I think I thought that it was implying that like she got pregnant that night at the dance, but I don't think it was because that was 20-some years ago. The kid is not 20-some years old.
I think he's about 15. I think they said he was 15.
Yeah, so
that math doesn't work because they did get married and they were married for a minute. Like,
oh, that's true. That's true.
And it's after they broke up, they had sex one time, right? And he says, "Oh, I thought we were married
one time." We know that. Yeah,
so
I agree.
I'm going to assume that that one time was after she was married to
probably
Doug,
or while they were dating, at least, or yeah.
All right. Right now, it seems irrelevant. Probably will come back around.
All
right. So then he goes to see.
I think they'll both die because they're so stupid. They will get killed before it's over.
Now,
I'm joking.
Now that's why they won't.
That's exactly why they won't. All right. So he goes to see that woman again, the psychiatrist.
Laura.
He wants to ask her out, but yet he also tells her his whole life story and everything that's going on. And because I think he just needs somebody to talk to, basically. He's like,
well, he says that. He says, I came here to ask you out, but I realized I need a therapist more.
Yeah, he's like, I found 2 bodies in a week, and I'm not as upset as I should be by this.
Why does she not slam the door in his face and be like, "This is inappropriate. I can't be your."
Because she still has the hots for him.
It's so dumb.
I don't know. I don't know that he necessarily meant he wanted a psychiatrist. I think he wanted a friend more than anybody. He just said it that way.
That's not very psychiatristy of her to slam the door in his face. He needs help.
It's not very psychiatrist of her to take this job and be like, "Oh, you're hot for me, but I'll also be your psychiatrist."
Well, that's why I'm saying I don't think she's going to be a psychiatrist. I think he just needed somebody to talk to.
That's not what he says. He says that he
says I need a psychiatrist more than a date. But I'm just saying, like, I think it's going to turn out that they'll probably just talk and it'll make them feel better. And
I think it's going to turn out that they're both grossly unprofessional and this can come to no good end.
Also true, but they don't have to. She doesn't have to be a psychiatrist to listen to him, though. Either. I mean, they can still talk without her like officially.
Listen, she hands him her card.
Yeah. She doesn't say, "Let me write my number in your hand and pen, and you call me for a date." She's, "Here's my card. Okay. Make an appointment." Right?
Okay. That's fair.
I mean, it's ridiculous that she went to him as a psychiatrist for an appointment, and now he's going to come to her. Like, they're so dysfunctional and wrong. Right?
It is. I will agree with that. It definitely
makes me wonder if she's part of something. Like, did she come?
To be fair, she didn't come to him. She was going to his father, not knowing he was dead.
So she says.
Yeah,
you're so untrusting, Karen.
Karen is very untrusting.
I can't trust people who are this stupid. I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
So he's called his. Seth tells him to come in, and he's like, "Is this because I was beat up?" And he's like, yeah. Sure. And he knows he's lying, but he comes in anyway, and he goes through all this thing of I didn't kill her, blah, 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 blah. And then Allison, her name's Allison, right? Says, I know you didn't kill her because I've been following you. But I have 2 problems with this. She says that she was, from my understanding was what she said, is it sounded like she was saying that Margot was stabbed in the woods while they were searching for her, right? That was what I thought she was saying.
Wait, what?
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you guys, because I think I misunderstood something, or I heard something wrong, because I heard her say something about in the woods, and I thought she was saying that Margot was stabbed in the woods while they were looking for her. And I was thinking that don't make any sense, because then she'd have no way of knowing he didn't do it. So I misunderstood something that was said here. But either way, the idea is she says she knows he didn't do it because she's been following him.
It's a little, the timeline's a little weird, because Margot was last seen 2 days ago on CCTV walking the dog, and then she turns up dead with the dog with her, right? The dog's like right there. So has the dog been hanging around in the woods for 2 days, or was
Probably.
she, right? The little dog's been with her for 2 days, and
for all we know, she had the leash in her hand, and the dog couldn't get away, maybe, and it finally worked itself loose. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I mean,
or she could have, though she hadn't been back for 2 days. That doesn't necessarily mean she was dead for 2 days either. She could have been like half dead, and the dog stayed with her, and then she died. And the dog,
or she could have somehow not been caught on camera for 2 days, right?
Yeah, that's possible too. She could have just been killed.
I mean, I don't know if you guys, I don't know that I understand this correctly, because Allison's like, I know you didn't do it because I've been following you, but unless she had him under surveillance for 24 hours for the last 48, how could she know he didn't do it?
She's personally been following him, apparently.
Well, she said you came and said she was going to die, and it didn't make sense, so I followed you to make sure you weren't the one that killed her. Is basically what she said.
Yeah, but he said it after she was already dead, because you can't see dead people until
I know, which is why her theory and her explanation really didn't make a bunch of sense. But this
she's been following him, but she was following him before that.
But why? Okay, so she was following him, but not necessarily in regards to Margaret.
No, she was following him because he's been acting really fucking weird.
That makes sense. Yeah. That makes
sense. And she says, it doesn't mean that she personally followed him 24/7.
No, it showed her following him. That's
we
why
see we see a flashback of her following him.
Yes, but I mean, she could have had somebody relieve her for a few hours of the day while she
but I get the feeling.
It wasn't 24 hours.
I get the feeling this wasn't exactly on the books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how she can really know that he didn't do it, but
that's
I think also that he maybe didn't do this one.
Well, see, here's this, and the Margot dying is what really confuses the shit out of me, and tells me that there's got to be multiple killers.
Yeah,
because like I said, the first 2 episodes they gave the implication that all the killings were the same person, but that was my own fault because I took what they actually say is everything's connected, and everything can be, but everything can be connected and not be the same killer.
Well, I think the only people who could have killed Margot would be Lazarus, Billy, or Jenna. Because who else could have?
Anybody could have killed her. We just don't have the motive yet.
Well, then they would. But like, who among the characters? You mean like a rando that we haven't met yet?
No. I mean, it could be anything. I mean, it could be Billy. It could be, like you said, it could be Billy. It could be Laz. It could be Jenna. It could be Sam. It could be Aiden. It could be his mommy. It could be his daddy. I mean, anybody we've seen. It could be the cop. It could be Seth.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that's where this show is going right now. That's the suspect pool, because none of this. Because nothing is reliable that we're seeing except for the in the moment action.
Yeah. All right. So he tells him he's sorry. He was a good friend. He was right. Basically, that's what that conversation is. And he's like, "Yep." Okay. Then he goes back to his sister, and this is where
the conversation though, where Seth says, "Listen, don't give Jenna a hard time because you also have been lying for 30
you're right.
years."
I forgot about that. Right? Yeah. Because he says that you said that you left because your girlfriend was upset.
You didn't leave.
Stayed behind. You stayed
behind
because
you were upset, and that isn't true.
And that is not the reason.
Right.
And
Although I think that's one of those things. It's like he said. I forget what he called it. That if you tell a lie long enough, you start to believe it. I don't think Lazarus remembered it necessarily until now.
I don't think he did either. Because Lazarus has very serious mental issues, and the fact that he himself has become a psychiatrist astounds me.
Yeah. Or that he was allowed. I'm more concerned with the fact he was allowed to become a forensic psychiatrist, but anyway.
Allowed? What do you mean? Because he himself.
Well, I'm not saying that somebody who has mental problems can't become a psychiatrist. That's not what I mean. But I mean, he doesn't seem to be there enough that he would have passed the kind of tests and things that you needed to. I don't know. Like, I don't get the opinion that this guy is like all in a good place now.
I think he's intelligent and he could.
Oh, he's intelligent, but I mean, it's one thing to say he had a mental breakdown, and that's fine. He could have had a breakdown. He could have got better. He could have became a psychiatrist, but he doesn't sound like he ever really got better. I get the opinion. So I don't know that I believe.
Make it till you make it.
Yeah,
I mean,
guess
he
so.
admits that he's never got past his sister's death, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I guess he still could have not gotten past it and still
maybe because he killed her. Maybe he killed her.
Maybe. All right, but so he realizes what happened. Now, this is where also Seth gives him the information, I think, about Billy or did the other cop give them to him? I can't remember, but he comes.
It's Allison. He's ranting
Allison.
with Billy.
Okay.
Billy wasn't in the Caribbean, and Allison's like, yeah, he wasn't. He was in rehab. And and your father. This was kind of dumb, where she's like, your father recommended rehab 20 years ago. Like that's some sort of like get out of jail free card, right?
Yeah. So basically, he found out that the reason he was hanging around the office was because he was stealing meds from his father. Yeah.
Right.
So, or prescriptions, probably prescriptions, but either way, he was stealing meds. So he knows that he had been in rehab and that basically Billy drugged Jenna. And that's why
it's a big bunch of assumptions that are made here, but it's plausible.
Right. But
it's a plausible
that he drugged Jenna before he kissed her. That was why she had blackouts and didn't remember what happened. That she normally may have never even kissed him, that she wasn't in control of herself because of the drugs she had. If that happened, again, you're right, assumptions. But that, that was why she made out with him. And that was why she didn't remember what happened exactly when she came back to the house. So he's like, it's not your fault. And also he doesn't tell her, but we do find out that, like I said, he stayed at the party because he was trying to have sex with his girlfriend, not because she was upset. Right. So
he was getting lucky.
He was a teenager.
Well, he heard that he was going to get lucky.
Right. He thought he was going to get sex.
Whether or not he did, we don't even know.
I mean, really, he had no reason to believe his sister. His father was like, "Hey, walk your sister home." He had no reason to believe she was going to be murdered.
Yeah, and I mean, teenagers lots of times don't listen to their parents. It doesn't make it his fault something happened. He was
kind of his father. If you really thought your daughter was going to be murdered, then do a little something more than
I
don't think anybody thought she was going to be murdered.
Well, no, but Lazarus, when he was arguing with his father, was implying that his father knew Billy was dangerous. So he shouldn't have let her go to the dance with Billy in the first place. But even Morgan said, if you tell two kids they can't go, then of course they're going to go. So I mean,
that's just one of those things people do after the fact.
Yes.
Yes. I also think from the little I've seen of Sutton, like, good luck telling her what to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Either way, it's a blame game going around everywhere.
Right. All right. Let's get to the important part now.
Let's get to the important part and move on.
Watch a video. And this is where I was saying, he says, there was a video in here somewhere. He's watched that Seth is in the video too. Okay.
Yes, the four of them are getting ready to go to the dance. They're lifelong friends. They're getting ready.
But it made me wonder, whenever they had said before that there was connected and that like Billy knew everybody, it made me think, didn't Seth too? Seth was connected to everybody. Seth has had a crush on Jenna forever. Maybe Seth saw Jenna kiss Billy, and I mean, I don't know exactly how that could have led to Sutton's death, but I'm just wondering if it's possible.
It doesn't matter.
But he could have covered everything up. Like, it kind of makes sense.
Well, Seth wasn't in the house, as far as we know.
Seth was at the dance still with.
Oh, that's true. Well,
he was still at the dance. He was at the dance with.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
the boys were at the dance.
I mean, what do you think? What is it you think Seth did? Because
I just wondered if it's possible Seth could have killed Sutton, but I don't know that it necessarily why that.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious who killed Sutton.
Well, they're trying to say it was Sam, but we don't know that's true yet. That's what they're saying.
Listen, the fact that the dog was still in the room the night of the dance, and now Sam has the dog, or Sam had the dog until.
Okay.
That seems pretty.
Okay.
I gotta give the show credit. I gotta give the show credit for this one, because they did a really good job of making me feel bad for Sam, that he's been ridiculed all these years for a murder he didn't commit. And now we find out maybe he did commit the murder.
Okay, so a couple things. One, I do notice now looking at this picture, that stuffed dog is also in the picture on the shelf as well. But not that necessarily matters. I'm just pointing it out. But yeah, he sees that the day that his sister was killed, the night she was killed, before they went to the dance, that stuffed dog was still in her bedroom. And if that's not possible, if she had given it to Sam. I kind of wonder, though, why did he never corroborate the story about the dog? Like, he never asked anybody if that was true, that they were looking for a dog. Like, couldn't he have talked to? Well,
no one was looking for that dog. No one's looking for it. Lazarus.
No. But I'm saying Sam told him that she gave him the stuffed dog because he helped her find her grandparents' dog.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, why did he never go to, although his grandparents could not be around, I'm saying that there's a possibility they're not around.
Yeah, they're
But
dead.
I was saying, like, I question that he didn't ever try to find out if the part about her and Sam looking for a dog was true. Like,
Well, he just learned about it like 5 seconds ago on the show. He just learned about it like the day
it was
before.
like a couple episodes ago. He never
And
tried.
yeah, but it's a believable enough story. Maybe
Everyone's dead.
Maybe he didn't check on it because he remembers that dog getting out all the time.
I don't know. Now,
And
another
Seth's
thing.
dead, and if you look at Bill Nye, if they're his parents, they're definitely dead. He looks like he's
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, if his grandparents are dead, his father's dead, and Sutton's dead, who's he gonna ask?
Like his mother might be too. Okay.
Oh,
now, another
did
thing.
your dog get loose on a random day 30 years ago? Like, right?
Okay. Now, well, I know, but I would think if she was murdered, somebody might remember she was looking for the dog. But anyway, aside from that,
But that was
before the dog. He says it was years before the murder. She gave like long before.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Well, if it was years before, she could have technically gotten another stuffed dog in that amount of time. But that's irrelevant. I'm noticing something else I didn't notice before.
It's a red herring.
I want to bring it up. Look at this picture. Look at the picture.
Oh, there's a
there.
I think that has 4 legs, Jamie. That has 4 legs.
It looks to me like that might be the bookcase behind it.
That
I'm
is
just wondering if it's possible that maybe that symbol has nothing to do with what we think it does, and like maybe that was the murder weapon or something, and he drew it. I don't know.
4-legged stool.
I'm probably reaching, but I happen to notice it just now. All right.
I think if this is episode 4 out of how many? 8 episodes?
6.
I don't think it's Sam. I think it's too early.
I would agree with that. Either way, and like I said, the thing is,
early. It's episode 4.
You're also saying that you think
Out of 6.
You're also saying you think the dog thing happened beforehand, like years before. That's why I also question: is it not possible that the girl got another stuffed dog in that amount of time?
He told Laz that it was a long time before.
And he's saying, how is that possible if the dog was in her room? He thinks
because he lied. Because
he lied. It's the same dog.
I'm just saying we don't know it was the same stuffed dog. But
then again, Laz is very unreliable, so maybe Laz doesn't know the difference between the two dogs.
It's also possible because Sam was a peeping Tom and he was kind of creepy. It's also possible that he stole the dog out of her room, but that doesn't necessarily mean he killed her. Just saying.
Well, he could have stolen it later. Like,
yeah, he could have.
How long was it in her room? Or it's like,
that was the night she died.
Or maybe Jenna gave him the dog. Maybe he was peeping on. Like, who knows, right?
To be fair,
and nobody would have noticed if it disappeared. Obviously, they didn't. So he could have stolen it and not killed her.
I think it's possible Jenna killed her. I think it's possible Lazarus killed her. I'm not on the Sam train just yet.
Okay. Now what?
I was going to say, to be fair, he could have stole the dog while they were at the dance.
Yeah. Yes. Because he was seen on the road peeping the night of the dance, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So either way, this is them basically saying Sam did it, which is why I think Sam didn't do it.
Right.
Because this is a Harlan Coben story. We don't find out the murderer. No, that's not necessarily true. It could be that they want us. It could be a double bluff, but I don't think that it's him. I don't think it's Sam. I think that's too easy. But I guess we have 2 more episodes to find out.
We'll see.
All right.
So that was
yeah. So I know you were annoyed with him, but do you not like this show? Because I still really like this show. I think it's pretty good. I mean, it isn't necessarily the best of the Harlan Coben shows.
It is definitely. I was just going to say it's a lot more convoluted than anything he's done before.
Yeah, there's a lot of exposition and a lot of.
I think just the fact that nothing is reliable.
Yeah, that too.
And look, I can get behind a show with an unreliable narrator and where I can't believe what I see, but this show is not.
It's too all over.
Yeah.
Well, I also think the other ones were based on books that he may have taken a lot longer to write. I mean, who knows? Maybe because he wrote a script. Maybe he's better at writing books. Who knows? But I like.
You guys have Last Frontier. So.
All right, we have one more show.
Yeah, let's go and move on to. Here, wait, I got the other picture open.
The Last Frontier.
Now you're going to have to remind me what happened in this episode.
So this is the episode that is largely concerned with the aftermath of Luke and Kira's car wreck, and Kira runs and is found. Kira,
hold on,
you work on it while I talk. Don't make me mute you. So Kira is injured and she's rescued and taken to like an Inuit village and eventually airlifted back to wherever, Fairbanks. And in the meantime, in this episode, I think most of it, Jamie, is Luke, no, whatever the kid's name is, Luke, right? Is basically on a choose your own adventure with the convict who has kidnapped him, who turns out to be a paranoid, like, nut job, who is a conspiracy government. He's a former government employee, crazy guy who wants to I'm not really sure what he wants to do, but it involves taking out the power grid to ultimately take down a big spy place, right? And then there's this whole separate thing about like, there's all the Havelock stuff, there's all the Sarah stuff, like there's a lot going on, and some of it is a distraction, and some of it is okay, and some of it's terrible.
All right, fair enough.
Right?
Sorry.
Which is basically every week on this show. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, some of it is like, why are they showing it to us?
Yeah.
And there he is. I forget that guy's name.
I don't.
Convict number 5.
Whatever it was. It was cropped good the way it was, and I should have not.
That's right. We don't really need to. It's okay if it's not perfect, Jamie.
I know. I said I should have just left it the way it was.
So anyway, how did you like this Convict of the Week story? It wasn't really the Convict of the Week. They've been building up to this, right?
Yeah. I mean, I like that it fit in with the overall story, but yet it was the Convict of the Week, I guess you could say. Like it kind of worked with both in that sense. I have been kind of annoyed at the kids, so it was nice to get a resolution with that. Was that just from now? Let's see. Michael says, I'm so behind on this show. Haven't seen any of these. Hi, Michael. Yeah, we've been covering a lot today, though, in one day. So there's quite a lot.
So this guy's name is Romero.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I kind of liked this. I didn't mind this story. I mean, it's all about this guy being paranoid, right? And that he is trying to prove that he can I forget exactly what it is, but that he can shut them down by whatever it is that he's making them think is going to happen. They're going to reboot and it's going to end up messing them up more and turn all the power off because of what he did. I think he tries to, the main guy that I'm blanking out on his name at the moment, tries to blame him or tries to tell them and they won't listen to him. And then the whole power goes out, right?
Well, he used to be an employee of a government surveillance program, like a DARPA style program. And he now has become paranoid about the government listening to all of us and surveilling us. And he wants to take it down, right? And come to find out very conveniently that the largest listening station is in Alaska, very conveniently within a car ride away, and he can like take it out. And I mean, it is a little bit interesting how this guy, because he was an insider, like knows the system better than the generals, and the way he actually like that was kind of interesting and like a twist, right?
But I think too the fact that like Frank figures out right that he's trying to get them to turn it off because it'll knock out or restart it or whatever because it'll knock out the power.
I mean,
nobody will listen to him.
Frank doesn't figure it out. Somebody
figures it out. Somebody who does. I thought it was Frank. Maybe it was that other cop. It's been a while since I've seen this.
I watched it just the other day, but what happens was like Sarah and Frank show up at the last minute and there's like a shootout and everything, right?
Yeah, and they do save her kid. Yeah, he's gonna rip his his braces or something that I don't know what it's called, that thing on the roof of your mouth that like spreads your palate or whatever. He's gonna rip it out because he thinks it has like a listening device, and that was awful. I really thought he was going, but I don't want to see that. I'm like, no, don't do that. But he didn't do it. But yeah, I mean, the kid in this, I do remember that he did the kid kind of did the right thing because he, to some extent, because he figured out what he was doing and he sort of played along with it for part of it. I remember that. Yeah. But no, I meant the fact that whatever it is that he's trying to shut off the power, like they're telling him at that power place, I know it's not a power place, but at the place that they're telling
it's a
Frank.
surveillance installation.
They're telling Frank at the station that there's no way he can shut them down. No way he can hack it. It won't happen. And they're saying that they're gonna, I forget what it is exactly, but essentially, in my opinion, it was something like reboot it.
What
and
happens
he realizes at the last second that that's what's going to cause the problem is them doing it because
Frank doesn't realize it at all. What happens?
I think it was the other cop that figured it out. I think
Frank's like this other marshal named Cole. Cole. He like watches all of Romero's YouTube videos, and he finds one where Romero has explained that the station, if their power goes out, like the switch that Romero turned off earlier, if the switch is not turned back on before they power up, it'll blow out the power.
Yeah.
And Cole's like, it was kind of a little, Cole's like, oh, guess what I found out? Frank, what should I do? And Frank's like, call the general and tell him. And I was a little bit like, really, Cole, you're not empowered to, like, you just wasted valuable time, like going to the bar to be like, Frank, I got to interrupt your slow dance with your wife to tell you this. Right. Like, but, and it's like a little too late, right? We see the power failure.
Yeah, the guy won't listen, and by the time they tell him about it, that it's
all generals on TV are stupid.
True, but the power go in town. It's out at the end of the episode, right?
And it looked like not just town; it looked like a pretty, like
from a big area.
What they were saying, it looks like a big area, right?
Yeah. Which could be a problem, especially if they have lost most of the daylight in Alaska at this point.
Well, if you lose power, you have no heat, you have no light. Like, how do you live in like remote? What's supposed to be? It's supposed to be remote in Alaska, but it's a huge city that gets shut out. But they shoot this in Quebec, actually. But I'm not saying it was Quebec, but like maybe we talk sometimes about like, is there enough Alaska as a character in this show? And so maybe we'll get some good, like, I complain every week that nobody has, like, that these people don't freeze to death. They're out in the snow night after night in their flimsy prison jumpsuits and they keep living. So maybe we're going to see a little bit more of like the danger of living remotely without technology.
Yeah. Either way, them not having power there should be a big issue.
And I presume they can't recharge their radios. They can't call for help. They can't, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So there's also the idea too, during a lot of this is all at
Donnie's memorial.
Yeah. And he does make this whole speech about how like he is supposed to take care of his family and everything after what happened. They said they'd take care of each other, and yeah, it was sad, but they're at this memorial, and this is where his wife again really annoyed me because she expects him to just drop out at the middle of this case and just be like, okay, bye, and just let everything go because she wants him to focus on his family. Look, I understand that what he's doing, he maybe hasn't put his family first all the time, but he's in the middle of this case. For her to think he should just leave, to me, is like really annoying. Because I don't know how you could expect him to leave. Do you agree with that? Because she's done that through the whole episode, through the whole season, but especially at the end of this episode, she kind of like gives him an ultimatum. Almost, well, not quite. She almost does. She's really pissed off, and I don't know. To me, that seems like so selfish the way she acts, because he's trying to help this town. He's made a promise that he's going to see this through, and she's like, no, you should leave. So yeah, I don't know. That part kind of
you can't just leave. You're a federal marshal. You're
right. Yeah. Like, it's fine to say this is the last case, but you can't just in the middle of it take off.
And it's a little like I think we have heard Sarah earlier be like, I'm a cop's wife. I know what it means to be a cop's wife. She didn't marry him just 5 minutes ago. Like, she knows he has a duty and he is who he is. And that's why she loves him. And so for her to demand that he not pursue the case, I agree with you. On the other hand, like, she's been kidnapped by Havelock. She's a little traumatized. Like, they're just recovering from a family trauma, which bothers me. Like, the whole side story of their family trauma, I feel more and more is a distraction more than part of the story. Like, I really struggle with, I almost wish like Frank was a character that we never met his family. Like, for his wife to be kidnapped, and his son to be kidnapped. Come on, like what is going on with this show, right? And I feel like the whole like Sarah rough marriage and having lost a child, like it's just a little like it's a lot, and it's slowing down the story, I think. But I agree with you.
I don't know that I don't know that they needed all that backstory. I think maybe if they hadn't had the kid being missing too, maybe it wouldn't have been so much, but it's just like everything together. But if I remember rightly, they got the kid back, right? His son's safe now.
Yeah, he's safe now, yeah.
Okay. I do remember thinking though that they should have showed these scenes in a different order, because it did not seem like they immediately took the kid to the hospital. They went back to the cabin or whatever first. And I'm like, what the hell? I have a feeling it was the editing more than anything. It seemed like it was edited together out of order or something, but it made it seem like they did other things first before they bothered to take the kids to the hospital, which was a problem to me because I remember.
Well, I think we just didn't see that part. He goes to the hospital, he gets discharged. That's boring. We just don't see it.
Yeah, but they could have made a comment. I don't know. Look, I've said before, there are problems with this show sometimes, and there are some things that aren't, necessarily perfect. But overall, I still liked the story. I still think it moves pretty quickly. But I do agree, a lot of the stuff with his family is not necessary, and it doesn't necessarily add to the story. It sort of detracts from it, because it's like I want to see the stuff with them going after Havelock, but also them finding the other inmates. And it's like, I don't really care that Sarah's upset that he's doing this. Like, I don't need to see that. I think she's being selfish to begin with, but regardless, it's not really relevant to the part of the story I want to see, I guess.
I mean, she's been abducted, and she's
afraid. I guess she's upset,
but they have written her, like, there's times where she's like, do what you got to do, Frank, save our kid. Other times she's like, quit your job. I think it's a distraction. Like, I think this show wants to be like is it a twisty manhunt to try to find Havelock? Is it a character study for Frank the flawed cop? And then we've got like, there's just,
it's too much at once. Yeah.
It's too slow. It's too ponderous. Like, and is it the crime? Like the convict of the week was kind of fun for a while, but it can't last. Only 16 convicts survived the crash, and multiple of them have been arrested together. And so it's going to come down to the Havelock thing. And the Havelock storyline is almost incomprehensible to me. Like, where did this guy come from? What motivates him? All we know is that one day Sydney walked into his classroom and convinced him to become an operative, right? And like, he has no... I think part of my problem is that Havelock has no motivation. And yeah, he's supposed to be a little bit of a mystery. And from like Frank's POV, he's a complete mystery. I just got to catch him. But like, there's not enough Dominic Cooper. He's barely in any episode. When he's in an episode, that he has to like recite nonsense script about like his MacGuffin, right? Which it turns out to be a different MacGuffin than we thought it was. Like, we thought Archive 6 was like a knock list. And in this episode, it turns out Archive 6 might be the code that brought down the plane, the proof that the CIA brought down the plane, right?
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, I know before you kept saying that, and I was like waiting to say, I didn't know what to say. I had to be careful. Yeah, it's definitely not what we thought. And obviously they're trying to prove what the CIA did without getting killed. Well, now, he gave him Archive 6 then, right?
Well, it's missing, right? Like, he gave Frank Archive 6, but he had a hard drive or whatever, right?
But he found it. Did he find it?
Yeah, he left it. Havelock left it in the ceiling.
Okay, right? I just want to make sure.
Cole found it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, how many episodes are left? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Because there's 10 episodes, so I don't know. There's still quite a bit yet of it wrapping to kind of come together.
I can't get my brain around any reason. Like, did the CIA or whoever they are, did Alfred Woodard like bring down the plane on purpose to kill Havelock? And like, truly, could you not find an easier way to kill the guy? Like, you already had him in federal custody. Like, just disappear him. Like, you have to like bring down a plane in Fairbanks, Alaska, with this whole like rogues gallery of random federal criminals. Like, what is the point of bringing this plane down? I do not get it. I hope it's going to be a good, cool resolution at the end, because I don't understand why these particular people are on this plane, and why you don't just put a bullet in Havelock's head if you already have him in custody. Why you got to put him on a plane, fly him to Fairbanks, shoot it down in Alaska.
Yeah, there's a lot more of the story, and I know I feel like I keep saying that. That's not a good excuse, but there's a lot more of it you still don't have that still has to come together. But to be fair, we're only halfway through the season, so there's still a lot left. I was thinking it was 6 episodes. No, it's 10 episodes. So I couldn't remember how many it was.
10. I thought it was 8.
No, it says 10 on your move database. I was thinking it was less than that, but it definitely says 10.
This was episode 5.
Yeah, so there's a lot left. I don't know. I'd have to go back and double check the screeners, but I mean, it says there's 10, so I'm assuming there's 10. I really don't remember how many there were. I just remember I watched them in like 2 or 3 sittings. So, but yeah, there's a good bit left of the story, and I feel like there is a lot of twists and a lot of turns in here. But I do see, like, if you're watching it week by week, like, I think there is so much going on that it probably is a lot convoluted, and maybe is just too much. And that's why I agree with you. I think that maybe they didn't need the family storyline. Maybe if they had taken that out, they really could have made the season shorter and taken that out. And I don't even know we necessarily needed it. Like, I get his wife being kidnapped kind of was the kickoff, but
then his son also being kidnapped, right?
Yeah, like, there's a lot. It does have a lot going on. I totally get that. I think that this is not that this is a better show to binge. I know you can't, but I'm saying, like, I think this is a show that works much better not.
But the show is not being released.
I know I said, but it's not meant to. I'm just saying, I think that, like, I can understand why you're frustrated. I just, it's hard, like, because I mean, like I've said before, whether you're supposed to watch it that way or not, that's how I watched it. So it's harder for me because I'm thinking back, having seen it all once, but I can see, like, why it would be frustrating, because there is a lot of different threads. I mean, there's a lot in this show going on at once, and maybe it's just too much. I think
maybe it's too much, and also not enough. Like, I'm not getting enough Dominic Cooper, like, right?
Yeah,
like,
he's in there a lot. Maybe he's more in the end than the beginning. I don't remember which episode.
Looks around, and he's all cryptic, and like this whole the central mystery of Havelock is so. It's so out there. It makes no sense. Like, the characters are like talking like some sort of like national security nonsense that doesn't even mean anything. Like, and the guy has no motivation. Like why is he? I get that you want to keep the character, like, the central secret of what Havelock's up to has to be kept from me for a while, but they're not giving me a good reason to like, is he a hero? Is he a?
Yeah, you're not sure. That is the thing I will say. This show does not spoon feed you the answers along the way. Like, you really have to.
I'm not looking to be spoon fed.
No. I agree. I know you're not. I'm just saying, like, the one thing about the show is, like, a lot of times when you watch a show like this, like, as things happen, they explain it. And I'm just saying, one of the things about the show is it does not explain things along the way. Like, if you figure it out, like, at the end, you know what I mean? Like, it's not.
Yeah.
It has to come together. And maybe if they had made it come together a little earlier, maybe it would have been a little better. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it does not explain a lot of things ahead of time.
Yeah, I think also they have made both Havelock and especially Sydney so unlikable that it's hard to get behind their backstory together.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
All right. I guess we're wrapping it up, huh? We've been on the air.
I'm probably going to watch the next episode. Maybe I'll be a little bit more up to speed when we do next week, because I think I might be going to do an interview for this. So I will watch it before next week, because it's at the point, it's been so long since I've seen it. It's been a long time. So I'll have to go back and rewatch it. But yeah, but I don't know. I liked it, but I do see why it annoys you. There is it does have some problems.
Show annoys me.
Karen, do you like any of the shows we cover?
Do I think one reason,
like, I don't like, you know what, Karen, don't watch Agents of Shield with me, and we'll talk about that instead.
I think one reason The Last Frontier disappoints me is because it's on Apple, and most of the shows I've watched on Apple have been very good, and I disappointed to find one that I feel like is not that well written, doesn't hang together, and truly the special effects are not good on this show.
And it's funny because I'm the one who watched it and liked it so much, and usually you guys are the ones talking, other than Severance, usually you guys are the ones talking about the Apple shows that I haven't seen them, and I'm like, this time I watched
and they're not putting the money into it that they put into the special
That is
effects
true.
are weak in every scene, and this show is like, I know that every show on any given streamer can't be excellent, but this is yeah. Do I like any shows that we are currently on? Yes, I love the Diplomat.
You would think, see, that's the thing too. Like, this is that. I didn't think once I knew this, like, it was like a spy show, I didn't even think I'd like this. That's why I think it's funny I do like it, because I don't usually watch this kind of show, but I really liked it. I see problems with it, but I liked it.
Yep.
All right.
We've been on the air all night. It's so late.
Yeah, it's been a long time. All right. So we are going to hold off on the Lazarus deep dive for those episodes until next week when Scarlett's back. And then we will be back Monday to talk about the 4th episode of Talamasca. And then, of course, Tuesday we have Fandom Access again.
Okay.
So make sure you guys join us. Check out Discord if you haven't already for updates and all that good stuff, and for the watch parties. And also, we will be starting our Stranger Things coverage soon. So look out for that. We'll have that.
Are you guys doing a rewatch on it?
No,
we're just gonna jump in and cover it.
Yeah, because I know I don't have time to watch 3 seasons of it,
and I know I don't want to.
4 seasons of it, whatever it is.
Yeah,
I don't really want to devote. I mean, I like the show, but I don't know that it's good enough to devote my time to rewatch the whole thing again. I just don't have the time to do it, and I don't really want to take the time to do it. So, but we will be covering it, so everybody can know that. And yeah, if you have anything you want to see us cover or anything you want us to talk about, please let us know in the comments. Please like the video, hype it if you have the option, subscribe to SciFi Vision. We always appreciate it. And
also, thanks to NDB Media, and please check out our sister shows on NDB, right?
Yep. There's as well. And also don't forget to check out our interviews under the video tab if you haven't, for all the non-live stuff. And yeah, look out for other coverage of stuff coming soon.
Yep.
And yeah, and go to scifivision.com.
All
right, guys, we will see you on Monday.
Bye.
So long in between anymore. Yep. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Bye.